record, and then let's hit going live. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else we need to talk about before we quote unquote get into it.
God damn it, the ad, your pre-roll ad is Diablo 4 2. This is the reason why. This is the reason
Yeah.
why I was did for went to buy it.
I was wondering if I should have the thing so it disables the pre-roll ads kind of thing, the at 3 minutes per hour, and just like time it.
I mean,
But
personally, like I don't think pre, I don't mind pre-rolls. So yeah,
yeah, it just look. If we're talking about Zoomers, they're gonna also just leave if they're like, I don't know what the content is. I don't get a chance because
fair.
I'm not gonna lie.
Fair.
I've had those moments of like, am I willing to take this risk?
Fair.
Not trying to be harsh. Anyways, let's get into the actual show. Hello everyone to another episode of 2BitTales, this improvised live storytelling podcast, where I have a guest and basically they get to decide what the whole episode will be about because they're choosing how we formatted it and the whole prompt. And for today, I have one of my D&D friends. If you want to give yourself an introduction.
Okay. Hi, hi everybody. I'm Varen. I'm a bear that streams from my cave. Usually just stream games around and also play D&D with a bunch of friends. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
That sounds fun. You know,
Yeah.
I'm also gonna be honest. Like
Yeah.
in the back of my mind, I always know you're a bear VTuber, but because we mostly interact through D&D, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's the way. I don't know if you were watching when Eden was
Yeah.
just like, "Who are you? Why do you sound familiar?"
Yeah.
And I was
I,
like,
I remember that.
"Eden."
I saw that. Like, wait, who are you again? Well, then again, here's the thing. Uh, the same way. It's like I keep forgetting that you're a rat. That your VTuber persona is a rabbit.
Yeah.
Because
See.
in my head, like you're an owl. In my head, it's like, wait, who is this? I had to look like in my followers. Like, wait, who is this again? Why does he sound familiar? Oh,
No. I get it, but it's just the fact that Eden couldn't connect the dots.
oh yeah,
It was just like, look, I understand you probably don't know what my VTuber is, but I was kind of hoping you'd still at least be able to recognize my voice given enough time. And the fact that I'm hanging out with Silas and Godiva.
yeah. I know, right?
But
At least by association,
yeah,
you'd at least recognize it, right? Oh well.
it is what it is. Isla and Eden are very intertwined. I'll leave it at that.
Again, there are times where I don't know whether she's. Whenever we interact with them, sometimes okay, are you saying this in character or are you just stating this? Because it's
Yeah.
very hard to tell what you're saying.
And for the record, if Eden is watching this live or as in a VOD, Eden,
Hi, Eden.
Eden, I do believe that you could potentially be a caring and good person. It's just you very much lead into saying, I don't care. So that's all, okay?
Yeah. I for one appreciate your chaos goblin tendencies. It frustrates me, but I appreciate it.
Look, I accept it. It's just, as Lance, I'm just like, please, I can't do this. I can't do
That
this. This is the main way we interact. It's different if you weren't in character. But because I am, I'm like, please, don't trap a person in a mirror. Please, I beg of you.
I just want to casually kidnap someone. Why is that so wrong?
Look, I won't know unless I do it, even though out of character we can technically just read what the ability does.
Also to note, there are two people in that rear now.
Who there's the guard and who is the other? Oh, right. Okay.
From the village that we
Right. Yeah.
technically forgot. We technically forgot that this
I don't even think it's
person.
technically. We just forgot.
No, no, no. Like no,
You mean technically for the characters?
for the characters they forgot. Like
Sure.
those memories were wiped out. But yeah,
That's fun. But anyways, continuing with this talk because also I feel like it's related to our D&D stuff. Uh, I have what you wrote for the prompt. I don't know if you want to just say it or I can read basically what
I
you wrote.
You can go ahead and do it.
Okay. Basically, Vern just gave a prompt of a specific trope, redemption, and what it means to a character and the audience.
Eh.
Yeah.
I, this has been like going through my head for a bunch of times. I think you can tell why.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Just I don't know. My
I don't know.
question is, is the character trying to even? I don't, the way you've talked about it doesn't seem like the character's focus is the redemption
Yeah,
part.
then here's the thing. Here's the thing. For me, there are two. Like, there's a lot of ways to. Again, that's why I said the audience or the character,
Yeah,
because the character could not seek it, but the audience might want that character to seek it for them. On the other hand, it's also possible that the character wants to seek redemption, but the audience says, "No, you don't deserve it."
yeah,
And
no, sure.
it's that dynamic that I find really interesting. Because again, in my case for John's character, I as a character, I think he doesn't understand that he needs it.
Oh
He
yeah.
he doesn't understand that. Oh, I didn't do anything wrong. I just did what I wanted to do. So
Well, there's very much been the thing of like Silas hinting at like the opportunity, and then you're just
yeah,
very much going, no, no, he's
no,
not thinking about that. No.
no, he's not. He really isn't. Because I've I've unintentionally, and I really do mean unintentionally, like the way I've like played out John. He is a sociopath, but not in like the, oh, I want to hurt people, or like he does not think of other people's reactions to to his actions.
You're saying
He
he's
just
not the
thinks,
movie trope of how a sociopath is.
no, he's not a movie sociopath. I mean, yeah, he does kill people, a lot of people, so maybe I guess he also is. But
He's pushing it. It- but the thing is, I don't think he's a sociopath in the sense. Well, uh, the way
I mean,
movies
yeah,
depict, where it's like,
it's like
ah,
really evil, cunning, and like everything is calculated and all that.
yeah, I think
Like,
it's they forget they're still technically like, even though they may not understand everyone else's perspective,
yeah,
they can still, you know, be a human being.
or they could also still be very observant, and
Yeah,
that's a thing, because John's a high wisdom character, and also I've put in a bunch of feats on him that makes him he can understand people very easily. Like, he has high insight, he has that one scarlet Baron thing that many made, that essentially gives him a vibe check on everyone on how their intentions are. He has alert. He's got all that, and he that means he can read people all uh, very easily, and
yeah.
he can navigate through that. The difference is that he doesn't care, like he doesn't like take value
Well,
into it.
yeah.
Like,
The issue is like, yeah, you seem upset. That's not my problem.
yeah, you see him upset. It's more like you see him upset, and it's kind of affecting me. It's kind of affecting me in a physical way. Can we fix that? I don't really care about your feelings, though.
Look, I just don't want this to bother me, okay? So how is
Yeah,
the fastest way for this to not be a problem? And it's like,
exactly.
there's a reason why there is such the rivalry, even though the rivalry is technically a one-sided rivalry.
Because he, because the thing is, he doesn't. Yeah, because
Most
because in
aggravating
his head,
shit ever for my character.
because he, because he doesn't think like, oh, why are you bothered by my actions, bro? I'm just doing my thing.
This is the most infuriating thing also, because we're dealing not just like world ending, it's literally multiverse ending shit.
Yeah,
And like my character is like, can we look focus on the bigger picture? And your character is going, yeah, but what about
nah,
me though?
yeah. Now I'm gonna do my own thing.
Like, fuck you, god damn it.
Which
Um
personally, should I talk about it here? Because it's spoilers from. Did you watch the new Spider-Verse movie?
I watched it. I would say
Uh,
we can tiptoe around it, but
yeah,
don't say
yeah,
directly anything because
yeah. But well, yeah, because let's just say that certain characters' motivations and
yeah, okay.
they
I know what
went
you're
through it,
saying.
it's very similar. It's like, I don't know how to feel about that. Because I'm supposed to like you, but the way you're acting is kind of sus.
I'm gonna just so I'm clear. I assume we're talking about the same character. Is it the one that everyone is thirsting over?
No, 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 no.
The other one?
We're talk the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but basically, it's like I think the way I see it is that let's say for example, to give another example for when the audience feels like okay, this character has to redeem himself is actually Star Lord from if we're going back to superhero movies, Star Lord
Okay.
from from Endgame,
Yeah.
from Infinity War, after he botched the whole, after he botched the whole Thanos fight because
Yeah.
ostensibly that was his fault,
Yeah. His
and
emotions got the
and
better of him.
yeah, yeah, and people were like, well, you oh, he fucked up, and everyone's like, he has to do something to redeem himself. We want to see him like go through shit, and it's like
Mm.
that's I mean, you don't see that in the story. You don't see that people. I mean, I think you do in the later ones. I think it's mostly because of how the fans reacted to it. Like he's beating himself up for it.
Mm.
But
I haven't watched the third one. If that's what you're referencing.
yeah, yeah, he does beat himself up a bit. It's
Yeah, I
pretty
can.
exploitative.
I can see. I guess I could kind of infer that, but it was like, yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of feels like it's more of a fan reaction, to be honest. The way they put it in there, but
Mm.
because like
Yeah.
yeah, because in the end, that was pretty some pretty poor writing in general. To be honest, it's like
Are we talking about
really
in the third one or for the end game kind of stuff?
no the Infinity War thing with the whole like emotions. I'm gonna fuck this all over. It's like,
Yeah.
bro,
The only way I can justify it though is it's Star Lord. He's like the dumbest out of all of them. He's gonna do
even
something like
then,
that.
even then,
No,
like,
no, no. I'm
come
not.
on,
I'm not saying it justifies it. When you said poor writing, I'm saying, look, he shot his dad
okay,
in the previous one. They set that up. They were there's a reason why, like, say what you how and you feel about the second one. I enjoyed it, but like the way he interacted with his dad was like, look, I had to get rid of your mom. It's like,
yeah,
look, if he's gonna do that over his mom, if he's gonna he's definitely gonna do the same thing over the girl he loves.
got okay. That I guess that's fair.
I'm not saying he's
I guess
a good character or a smart character. It's an understandable like
yeah, it's like
motive.
they've already established the fact that he is prone to emotional outbursts like that.
Yes,
Gotcha.
that's what
Okay,
I'm trying to
okay.
say. And I can see
And
maybe the reaction is just, yeah. In that case, I was just like, uh, but I can also see the wanting the redemption, but also it's like, yeah, his, you know what, his the payment for him fucking it up, him getting wasted from the snap.
I I know, but then again, I don't know. I don't know about you, but the whole snap thing is like that feels so arbitrary. It's like, okay, guys, we need like half of you to not show up because we
Oh
can't
yeah,
afford all of you.
no, I get what
That's
you're
how
saying
it
by
felt.
that. Um,
That's kind of how it felt, and like I don't know, because the reason I brought that up is because again, it's the audience that wanted that redemption from Star Lord. Because I've noticed that you have to have a certain amount of what's the word, audience, not I wouldn't I'd say audience appeal, but that's not the words. Like I guess audience appeal, like yeah, your character has to be likable enough that if they fuck up, the audience wants them to do better. Because
yeah,
if your character if the character if you if the character sucks, or like if the audience intimately hates the character,
yeah.
they will they don't want a redemption arc for him. They want him dead, or they want him out of the story.
Sure, sure. But that's like such a fine line, I think.
Exactly, exactly,
Uh,
and that for me is like, how do you tread that thing? It's like, okay, especially when it comes to like an improv storytelling, like let's say in D&D, it's like,
yeah,
okay, I want to play this trope out, and this is how I want to play it. But how do I make it so that it's worth it? It's either I want the audience in this sense would be the other players. Like,
yeah.
do you want them to redeem? Because the character, I know the characters don't want them don't
Well,
want
I
him.
think the issue
What?
is you made a character that it's hard to relate because he doesn't relate.
I, yeah, yeah. And I
That's
think
the
it's that
biggest issue here. If you want to make it a relatable character, he has
no,
to therefore relate, so that you could also be like, oh, he relates to me, therefore I can relate to him.
that's fair. That's fair. Although I think it's also the fact that it's that majority of his quote relatable stuff is all in the background. So yeah,
Yeah.
you've only ever seen him in his shittiest. I'll be honest with you.
No, I understand. Look, I understand he went through some shit, and also there's some effed up shit we probably can't say on Twitch. Um,
Yeah,
and you know, and you have to infer that stuff. The thing is, the issue so far is, um, to make them, you either have to make them relatable or that person where, what's it called? They have to be
mm.
charming, and right now John hasn't done that.
yeah. Yeah. He's not charming. He's just really just the fucking this fucking guy again. What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you could have like a villain person be like the protagonist, not the
Yeah,
hero. And it's
yeah,
just like, man, fuck this guy. But I want to see how far this will go.
yeah. I think that's where it's where I'm playing at right now. It's like you know. Fuck this guy. This guy's a piece of shit. But I also want to see whether he gets what he deserves or if he changes it up. I think we all. It's been pretty clear that a lot of people want to see him die, and honestly, I don't mind that either.
Well,
In a way, in a way, that is
yeah.
also kind of redemption, to be honest.
Well, the thing is like they want him to die, but the thing is they
That
want it to
also,
die on either under the case where we get our revenge, or B, it's the most brutal thing possible as like, because I wouldn't necessarily call it redemption. I think it's just like comeuppance.
come up. Yeah, okay, that's true.
Because yeah, the thing with redemption is also like in general that's like the way I was thinking of the redemption part, not necessarily with the audience but just for the character. Usually the
Yeah,
redemption is them digging themselves deeper into a hole before they can get anywhere higher and recover, because they are
yeah,
generally, the redemption is so focused on the redemption, they're like, nothing else matters. I fucked up so bad,
yeah.
I gotta ruin things more to justify my actions.
So basically, like the whole. Well, I read that it's either you completely fall back and like try to fix it,
Yeah,
or 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 like on the opposite direction, something. Oh, there's no redemption for me anymore. I fucked up too much,
yeah,
so I'm gonna lean into this
yeah,
and like
yeah, basically.
be 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 open to whatever comes up to me.
Yeah,
Oh man,
or like for some tropes, the thing of like, look, I know what I'm doing is bad, but I'm about to gain true power, so then I can fix everything I did. So I just gotta like lean into it so hard that everyone else is looking at me as a complete monster, but you're not even gonna remember it because I'm just gonna fix everything.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Does it usually? Can you really justify it? I don't know about that because we don't know if you can actually accomplish that. So a lot of
Yeah,
the time,
I
you're
mean,
just gonna be the villain.
I was like, I don't know, you just want to kill people, and and your justification is power so that you can fix it. How do we know you can fix it, bro?
You said you were
It's
going to
not
gain time travel, but we haven't seen any proof of the time travel yet. You're just saying you know you can do it.
like, yeah, the little sus, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually been taking a lot of uh inspiration for stuff like every from a lot of things. I think the biggest one I've got so far is like Isaac from Castlevania, the series. Have you
Mm.
watched it?
N- no, I know I should because I know how everyone's like. It's one of the few
It's
good
good.
things that.
Yeah, it is good. Adaptations, yeah.
Yeah.
I am. Well, so I'm not gonna spoil. So I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail, but I do really like his character arc where it starts extremely sympathetic but very villainous,
Mhm.
and then it kind of stays on course where he's still on the quote unquote villain side, but his character arc is also going the different direction where his motivations are no longer villainous. It becomes a sort of redemption, but at the same time, his actions are still technically villainous. It's that's all I can.
So
That's all I can.
he's like, look, I might be doing villainous things, but instead of like, it's very much. It sounds like he's changed into like, the path to hell is paved with good intentions kind of shit.
Yeah, it's kind of it comes out. It comes like that. He's found a reason to do good, but even though he doesn't change what he does, it's more like the reason he's doing bad things now is for is for good reasons. And
Look, I
it's a very
stole
slow,
candy from that baby, but I needed to help my friend who had a sugar crash.
sort of a little bit like that.
Yeah.
It's a very slow like pro slow burn on how on where he gets to, and I really like how they put it through that. And I don't know, I I honestly did. I think I've made it obvious that I did not expect John to turn the way he didn't know that shit was gonna happen, man.
Okay, granted, but also I feel like out of character there was a certain turning point, specifically when we started talking to Oa.
Oh yeah, well that I understood that, but the thing is, if you think about it, okay,
Oh my god.
if you think about it, okay,
Uh
yeah, yes, he did accept a dark power, and that's because the way uh, Ao like Ao approached him,
yeah, Ao, not
this
Oa.
kind of. Uh, who's oh, that's from Green Lantern.
Yeah, my brain was like, oh fuck yeah, that's the wrong one. But
They're they, they're both A and O.
yeah, probably related in conception somehow.
Probably. But yeah, so I think the reason why it's A and O is because it's Alpha and Omega. That's the reason why.
Uh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying the
Yeah, yeah, so yeah, so yeah, yeah, he did take a dark power, and that's because it, uh, AO rubbed him off the wrong way. He
yeah.
realized though that it was like, oh, people probably aren't gonna be happy with this. I guess I should talk, and he went to talk to Silas, and Silas was cool with it. It's like, oh, okay.
Uh,
And then when he went to try to talk to the party, suddenly Silas and Medica says, "Oh, you know what? You lose control of your character. You almost tried to kill Caiaphas." It's like, okay.
Yeah,
I,
I
I,
understand out of character, but you gotta understand I'm also gonna process this as if I was someone both as Lance and then also an audience
I
member
know,
just watching you be a dickhead.
I know. It's like
Uh,
I
it
feel like
also didn't help the way you were like talking to us like, look, I wanna talk. By the way, here's my new blade. Isn't it fucking sick? I can kill you all.
say that. I mean, I implied that, but I
Yeah,
didn't
you
say it.
implied it. Come on, you know. You're fucking talking to the empath of the group, going, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, but yeah, essentially, because I think after that is that the whole force. And he tried to worm his way like no no I don't have to kill Silas, right? I don't have to
Oh my
kill
god.
Caiaphas, right? I had to kill someone else. Maybe it's the dog. Maybe I have to kill the dog. Oh, the dog is a prince of the Scarlet King. How the fuck was I supposed to know that?
Uh, all I can say is John from the get go was like, "Look, I'm gonna talk what I think I should, but I still don't think enough to actually go. Maybe we're a whole group. Maybe I should just talk and say things instead of going
Nah,
off on my own."
nah.
I
He does
know it's
not.
a nah thing. I'm just like, God damn it. You cannot do this other foot thing where you're like, oh, I just want to talk. By the way, I didn't talk to you before this. Like, look, I made my decision already. It's kind of like a moot point at this thing, so we're just talking. It's like,
Yeah.
what is this?
It's just,
Uh,
I don't know why I've built in a I built in a big urge for John to be like completely honest on whatever he is he's doing. I'm trying to see, and I'm honestly trying to figure out why. why I put that into him, because it's
I
not in
feel
any of
like,
my other characters. It's
well,
like,
do you want to know what I'm thinking?
yeah, go ahead.
Uh, he's seeing things aren't working out, so he's like, what if I just did the other thing instead?
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
it's just that he's at that like completely hollow point where he's like, yeah, I don't even know anymore. It's
I,
all here. If you kill me, fair enough.
yeah, he's definitely there. I'll tell you that. He's definitely there. He's Because yeah, I mean, a little spoilers from the Ten Commandments stream from Medicus's campaign. He's he's essentially not a Baron anymore, and he's working out. He's essentially like uh how I would put it in is like signing his resignation papers at this point. Only except it's more, well, more of a sense another betrayal. Because that's the thing. That's another thing I realize is that redemption for one side is a betrayal for another.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
That's just how it works most. That's just
Most
how
of
it
the
works
time,
most of
but
the time.
I think that's specifically in the sense of where there's quote unquote warring factions.
Yeah, but it's usually like, yeah, especially if you switch one from one side, you're always going to be betraying another one.
Yeah, well, the problem
And
now is John can do which redemption do I go for? Do I go for the redemption from the original group, or maybe I'll do the Baron redemption after I feel like it? Because he's
nah,
betrayed both groups now, so he can be like, who do I get redemption from?
yeah, I think I think the way I built him is kind of, I don't know. He's when I play as him, he is. I feel I am completely lost. Like, no, I don't know what it is with that character. It's like, uh, he is very much my head empty character.
All right, I'm
Like,
just gonna
which,
close my eyes and oh, I just stabbed someone.
yeah, because with Gus and Jerry, it's like I can get where he's after. Jerry, I kind of like, okay, he's a businessman. He conducts everything business like, and he's a good person.
Yeah.
So he does the good thing. He does the thing that a regular a regular person in the street would think, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe murder is wrong.
You lean very heavily into just the fuck around and find out kind of character.
Yeah, that's the that's where that's John is my fuck around and find out character, and good lord, where it brought him, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look where it brought him and literally the rest of everyone else. He, you have to admit, he was the catalyst and the push to get everyone else to accept their powers.
I still blame Silas for that. He he put the bait in front of me.
Look, I get it, but you also have to acknowledge that by your choices,
No,
uh,
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that.
all right.
Like, yeah, I directed the party in this weird multiversal, bullshit. But at the same time, Silas is like, oh, look at this interesting white filled forest and this weird scarlet king thing. Ooh, isn't it like interesting? Like, it is interesting.
Oh my
And in
god.
my head, in my head as a player, it's like, could be pretty sick though. Like, this could be a pretty interesting story though.
Yeah, I think also for you, you've played so many characters enough that you're like, let's see where this goes.
Exactly. I was very much like, okay, what if I do this? It'll make it'll make for good D&D. That's I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I will perfectly admit that John is not a John is a freaking asshat who just does not care about people apparently
Uh,
enough, and does not think of the consequences of
no,
his
I get it.
actions.
Look, I will tease you to no end about this shit because it's funny, but also it's like, look, I get it. Like I've been in parties where everyone sticks together, and so you don't necessarily get dysfunctional aside from like quips against each
Yeah,
other. Uh,
like with like with Isla.
yeah. Versus like sometimes you want like the trope of like the paladin and the warlock butting heads kind of a thing.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I was thinking, you know what? You know what would be nice? It would be nice to like, you know, just add a little spice to it. Sure. What if I do take this? What if I do take
uh,
the bait?
yeah. See, the thing is, like, I knew you were enough of you played enough to be like, let's see if I could like derail things a little, or just like, let's see how far this can go. Oh, it went very far. Oh, okay.
It went
It
very.
hasn't stopped.
It hasn't stopped. Oh God! There's multiple boulders now. Oh God! I just threw this one pebble. Oh no! It's a landslide now.
How did this tidal wave create a typhoon? What are we doing? Uh,
My God.
uh, I mean, like, John is like not seeking a redemption, while like I will say even in a way Lance is trying to. I don't know if it's redemption, but he's seeking, I guess, acceptance.
I think it's. I think Lance wants justice. I think that's what he wants. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you fucked up. Understand that you fucked up.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
do.
no. Yeah, for John, I just mean in general, because it's like
Oh.
his fear of his own powers and stuff,
Gotcha,
kind of a
gotcha.
thing. So I don't know if it's a redemption. It's just like, he's always had this, but like, Silas has like kind of like started emphasizing it more of the weight that Lance feels.
Mm-hmm.
So even if like everyone in the world says it's not your fault, Lance will feel like it's his fault and then carry that weight and
Mm-hmm.
feel like he needs to redeem himself. Even everyone has already said, no, you're good, man. You you don't you don't need to seek like our forgiveness.
Yeah, or like our approval, dude. Like you're good, man. I think there's definitely in character like guilt because he did mention that back when he wasn't in the party, he used to like tell a lot of lies and he
Yeah.
used to like bring himself up. And I think that's still like an integral part where the fact that he is now in a completely, world changing journey and is now a key part of that. He
Yeah.
feels like, oh, my lies were nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel so
Yeah.
sorry. And it's that feeling that makes you bring out like, oh, I have to like, I have to, I have to fix things.
Yeah. It's probably, well, freaking from day one, it was just like, okay, we're gonna go on adventures. Okay, we're gonna stop some raiders. It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna help these people, and this is like, fuck, fuck. I was like, I'm gonna help this old man. Oh God, he's done. I was like, because like even for like at first it felt like goofy things like us doing the dealing with the werewolves, and then it got real fast.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, what did we do? Like, the only thing I remember is like we did the bandits,
Yeah,
we did we talked with the werewolves, and then we brought brought the bandits' families to the city. And on the way back, we when we went back to Barovia,
yeah.
the Tharas attacked, and then we went to we were on the boat, and then that's when it's the whole Scarlet King thing started.
Yeah, after the Tarask attack.
Yeah, which in hindsight is also a Scarlet King thing.
Yeah, well, now we know
Was it?
who Dog is.
Which just means that they've been planning this from the very beginning. Let's be honest.
Well, I
They've been.
mean, yeah, it's either just like, oh, the talk of Denarians, and then it's like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah,
his,
I honestly thought the Denarians was going to be a bigger deal, but nope.
yeah. The thing is, like, I feel, the way Silas runs things, it's probably like they could have been more of a deal if we pursued them, but because we didn't, they're kind of on the back end.
I mean, how could we pursue them? We had bigger problems after
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but the thing is, like, the whole thing is like, I mean, Tranquil has multiple Denarians, so that's what I'm trying to say is like there could have been a bigger emphasis on them,
Yeah.
or now that Cam has a Denarian to like even up
Actually, I think
that
actually now
stuff.
that I think about it, they're trying to put that back in because there are a shitload, like especially after like Gandiva's whole new party, that they introduced to us.
Ugh.
Oh, there's a lot of Denarians. I think we're gonna be dealing with a lot of Denarians now
Well, I mean, it makes the most sense that they're popping up now when we're awakening more to our powers.
because they are technically supposed to be god killers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Uh,
Uh,
and they're waiting like the fact that the HR violation was like getting horny over the fact that we're getting ripe. I was like, oh god.
gosh. Oh man, Gandhi really does not. Gandiva really knows how to like make really twist the nerve on you. It's like, oh, I feel uncomfortable about this, and I'm not saying
Thanks,
this in a
anime.
good way. In a good way, like
No, no,
she
yeah,
knows how
yeah.
to. She knows how to like to twist her buttons so that you the character not as a person but also as a person but at the character feels like I don't like this. I don't like this.
The fucked up stuff is heightened.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you didn't have to like commit atrocities for it either. Just the
Yeah. Well.
just the way just the way you talk to me is like, I don't like the way you look at me, man. Lady,
Uh.
walk, please walk away.
Yeah. It's like it's a fucked up thing, but there's a saying I remember someone said before. It was like, your resistance only makes me harder.
Oh, that's an old ancient meme, and
Yeah.
uh that's from an NSFW Japanese cartoon.
Yeah. Don't look it up. But I figured I could say the reference without it having a strike on anything.
I just, nah, I just had some nostalgia from that because I when you the men when you said that I was like, oh, I know that image.
Yeah, I vaguely know it, but thankfully I didn't like get direct context. I'm like, let's just let's just not go dig deep ever. Like I avoided. There's some people who are like, yeah, yeah. Let's see live links. Basically, I avoided how the Zoomers are already going like, yeah, I don't care. I'm dead inside, and I'm like, I please hang on to some humanity. I know things are fucked, but please.
Oh, I've noticed that too. Like, dude, I have a niece that's like barely barely in high school, like
Yeah,
barely, and she's already saying things like stuff that I was like, I'm dying, life, but life is meaningless. I'm like, dude, you're like you haven't even like experienced adulthood yet.
yeah.
Please don't give up. Please.
But
I know being an edge lord in your teens is a thing, but still.
I do acknowledge that yeah, capitalism and all the other bullshit has made things seem grim, but also I'm like, look, I'm not saying you have to be blindly optimistic. All I'm asking is like, um, don't basically say it doesn't matter. Why am I even trying?
Yeah. And like for me it's like your kids of all the ages to allow some blind optimism. You guys can deserve it. Like I can I could stomach blind optimism from children. It's like, oh, you know what? If they
They
believe
don't
that and
know.
if they
Yeah,
try, they don't know the hardships, but god damn it, if they try, maybe they'll do something about it.
maybe I can root for them and help them.
Yeah,
But when they're like,
uh,
I don't even
I,
want to start, it's like, oh my god, what am
oh
I
no,
supposed to say or do with this?
you're like, oh no, oh no, they've learned it from us. What have we done? That's how it feels, honestly.
To an
Like my
extent, it's just I don't know. I always felt like there was like a hint of irony to it or self awareness. And now we've reached that post surrealism that Zoomers love, where it's just like absurdist humor, where it's just like, I don't know, it's gonna be random as fuck, and you're gonna laugh at it because it doesn't make sense.
I think it's mostly because of the fact that I think content is just random. It's just pretty very rapid fire at the moment. So
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why the the humor is the way it is right now. And you know, good on them. I just don't understand it.
Yeah. Look, there's
Like,
different tastes. It's just like, can we not make it feel like everything is surrealist or depressing?
yeah,
Can we add
or
like
at
a
the very
third taste so I can mix it up, please? That's all I'm asking.
yeah, it's
Oh
like
no, you combine the surrealist with the depressing. It's even worse.
yeah. Like I sometimes when I'm in like Medi's Discord server and like God bless those kids, man. Like, but I can't keep up sometimes. Like with the rapid fire meme macros, and they're all like weird surreal shit. I was like, okay, can we like chill for a bit? Like, bro,
There's a reason I
are we
zone out.
okay?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm probably undiagnosed with shit, but also I'm like they're going way too fast. They need to chill.
I know,
They've
right?
already moved
Again,
on from the body horror and went to some NSW art that's just like why.
like I said, bless those kids, but goddamn, I can't keep up.
Look, I avoided that even though like we're old enough to be like the generation who first started seeing that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we our generation probably started that stuff, man. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and you're probably right. It's just I don't like to think of it as like it escalated or
it all this is the Pandora box that we've opened, and it just went bad and worse.
is there a redemption arc for this? Like, can we like burn the internet down or something? I don't know.
No, no, no. That again, I do really feel like the internet is pretty much Pandora's box, and I think
I mean, yeah, better
I
or
mean in
worse.
gen, now that if you think about it, like the whole idea of redemption, I think it's because I think the reason why it's been such a big trope into that's been brought into my head. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly because of my Catholic upbringing.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
I think that because I think the first thing that's like beaten onto you is that, oh, you were born from sin. You have to be better than that. You have to.
uh,
That's
take this, the sins of the father. I didn't agree to this.
no. You were born with it. Says who? Says the holy book. Why?
I don't know. Get fucked now. Give me money.
Yeah. Pass the basket around. Give me money.
Oh my god.
That's a, but yeah, I think a large part of a large part of that, and I think again, being a dominant religion and all that is that ha- that Im- that imagery's always been like around our zeitgeist, especially on specific cultures, and I don't know the whole because the entirety of the Christ the Christ mytho is essentially a redemption for pretty much humanity, and that he's the one working for that redemption. And I think we've internalized that somehow, and we essentially just keep saying that. That's why they say that. That's why the Messiah archetype is a thing, because sometimes need to find redemption not through the character itself, but for someone to do it for them.
I mean, yeah. I was. uh, I mean,
Too,
it's
too close
uh.
for home. Too
Hmm?
close to home. Is it too close to home? Or
I think thankfully I avoided that by just being so depressed enough that they'd stop trying to take me there because I would just
yeah,
clearly
got
not
you.
enjoy myself. But I know not everyone is quote unquote lucky enough to be to get out of that because
I
we
know.
stopped
I know.
going.
I mean, oh God, again, I was stuck. I was in Catholic school ever since, like from preschool to high school.
Well,
The
yeah.
only time I got out of a Catholic school was in college
I would say
for
where you're from. Yeah, that's not surprising.
true, true, true.
I would be
And
more surprised if you weren't.
I mean, technically the region I was in was half Muslim, so there was a very big possibility
Yeah, but that
I'd be
I would
Islamic.
assume also in that case you would still be in a very regimented like
Yeah,
religious belief.
that's true. That's true. I don't know. I think because the people around me, especially the people that I surround myself with, and they all have obviously for obvious reasons, they also have the same highly religious
Upbringing.
background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they also I think I'd like to think major for it, or at least the exposure to other media and other cultures for it is that they're not they're not like they're not drinking the Kool-Aid. Like some of them are still they're okay with with the idea of practices. I mean, personally for me, I see the I see the benefits of it sometimes
Mm-hmm.
for people who need that kind of that kind of direction, or who feel like completely lost, and they find some recluse in that kind of thing. I
Yeah.
get it, but for me, it's like I can't swallow that pill.
Well,
like
yeah.
I even after years and years trying to swallow it, I can't swallow that
Well,
pill because
the other issue would generally, I mean, very regimented and I guess in the case generational religion kind of stuff
yeah,
is you go one of two ways. You either accept it and then you because also generally when you're younger you don't think about it and it just becomes a lifestyle kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, fair.
Or uh in our cases because it was force fed, guess what? We spat it out.
Yeah, you force it too much, and people will. Some of the kids are just not going to want to eat it anymore.
Yeah, basically. Um so that's the whole thing is yeah. But the whole thing it's like um I think it's also just because now that we're further in technology and stuff and just older the generations have more time to be like self actualization.
Yeah,
They can start thinking about like, does this make sense?
yeah, yeah. Again,
Why am
it's
I
also because
searching for purpose through this?
yeah, because information is so much more available nowadays, especially compared to when I was a kid. Like I can look up other religions, and I can also look up, I don't know, religious atrocities that the Catholic Church has done through history. And oh boy, is there a lot of them,
Shut up! Shut up!
dude. That's history. Come on, man. That's
No, I
history.
know. I'm just saying, like, that's how the church acts. Shut the fuck up.
like um, again, one of the few things. Like
Put
I
your
was shocked to
nose
know,
into the Bible and not in that history book, heathen.
but this is what you guys did. Like, isn't this religious studies? It is technically religious studies, but
Look, we
still.
were doing it for a good reason.
Yeah, they were doing it for a good
We
reason.
were
We
trying
needed
to
the money.
redeem the sinners.
We needed I mean, we needed the money. I mean, the land. I mean, uh, God. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. It this is still on topic because again, it's all about the whole redemption things.
Yeah,
Like,
and
because
where
the
it comes
whole
from.
yeah, because it's where it comes from. Like that sense of you have to redeem yourself, or there's something inherently wrong with you because of religion, and you have. I think a lot of what people are looking for is to right that wrong somehow,
Yeah,
like in their even in their heads, like, oh, there's something wrong with me, or oh, I've done something bad, I need to do this to fix it.
yeah. I think it's the feeling of like in a sense of the focus on the redemption part, where generally people they feel like why isn't my life better kind of a thing,
Yeah,
and then they're trying to
why is my
find that thing to like improve, and so they dedicate it to
yeah,
something to be like reward me.
yeah, because like why is my life not good, or why is my life the way it is? Surely it must be my fault somehow.
Yeah,
Or if you're a special kind of person, surely it's other people's fault somehow. So I have to redeem myself, or I have to get revenge on the world. It's how usually it goes about.
the last one was very specific, but yeah,
I mean, I've learned the thing is, I've learned in very unfortunate ways that sometimes villainous motivations, that's how people think sometimes.
no, I get it. Look, uh, yeah, I think I've already told you. Like, I have a story about a person who basically wants a God of War shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and he's like known as the Iron Heretic, kind of a thing. And like
yeah,
his dead wife's body is in like an Iron Maiden kind of shit.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I get it, and like his redemption is totally like for himself. He doesn't give a a damn about anyone else. Um, even though it's gonna like potentially ruin everything else for everyone. But it's very much that like, no, fuck you. If you have a problem, stop me.
Yeah,
All I'm gonna say is he is definitely the protagonist, but I can see if someone looks at as him as the villain. But also, I will say he has very justified reasons for saying, "Screw you, I'm not gonna take this anymore."
yeah. And I like the fact that that's because that's such a internal thing most people have. I think that's why it comes out in media and storytelling a lot. It's because we have to explore that somehow. Because well, finding the answers in real life is hard.
Oh yeah, sure.
We play it. So instead, we play it around in stories, like and see, how does this work? If this does this work? Does this feel good?
Yeah.
But then again, I then again, like when we say character and audience in a story, it also applies in real life where it's the character is you and the audience is everyone else. So what would be redemption for you is also different from what everyone else thinks, and what everyone else thinks that you have to redeem yourself. But if you yourself don't think that you need to be redeemed, then that's 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 an issue on character.
Yeah.
And that I don't know, man. I've always been fascinated with with that kind of dynamic where like it's the individual against the community, and there's always a what's the word? There's always friction between it,
Oh, sure,
and
sure. Well, because usually when the redemption thing is usually things have been brewing and internalized for a while. So even if both the audience and the character both acknowledge they need redemption, the ways they're gonna go about it or what they seek are can vary drastically.
yeah, exactly, and and satisfying both is it's almost impossible. I would say
Well, yeah.
almost almost impossible.
It's like you need to stop. It's like no. One of those signs is like, no. Unless they haven't agreed upon what is the redemption, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm also just thinking about like Asian pride and having that redemption kind of thing, because it's
Mm.
been beaten into us both
Oh God.
literally and metaphorically about how we need to be better.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, you have to be better. You can't. Why can't you be better?
I don't know. Why aren't you better
Why do?
parents? Uh,
Oh, oh, you get the chancla for that.
oh, I know. That's why I'm saying it now when they're not here. Uh,
Oh man.
but literally,
Yeah, no,
uh,
yeah, it's okay.
no, I'm just thinking about that stuff, and also just like the diverging paths of like the redemption is I'm never gonna do that to my kids, or now it's my turn. Let's continue the cycle.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I earned this,
yeah.
basically.
I've had friends, especially friends who just got married and trying are about to get kids. Like
Mhm.
kids joke like, you know what? It's my turn now.
Like even if
It's my
it's like
it's my
that's oh my god.
it's as a joke. I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's not actually going to do it because
Yeah,
I would call his shit out if he did it. But
sure, sure.
yeah, it's like it's also kind of funny. It's like, you know what? It's my turn now, and it's very. I think I think you see that a lot, and especially in memes where like you know the intrusive thoughts come out in memes a lot. If
Oh yeah.
what I've realized, because we've all taught it. We've all we've all had that instinct of, you know what? What if we just pick revenge?
Oh yeah. Look. Uh, I may not want to do the joke of like it's my turn now for continuing the cycle for generational trauma, but I've made plenty of jokes about like shitty bosses. Like I have no sympathy if like they burn for all I care. And they're like, oh,
Yeah,
but they're a person. I'm like, you didn't go through what I did. You don't know
yeah,
them. Shut up.
yeah, yeah. And also relating to redemption, I think that people should realize that there are some people that just don't don't there is no redemption for them. They just need to go away. And like like in the same way, like there are people that just don't. They're just better. You're just life is just better without them. To be
Oh,
honest,
sure, sure. Yeah, that's the thing is like, look,
I could.
we can
I mean,
idealize what, every person is like sacred, it has value, but like, nah, some people are actually making things worse for everyone around
but
them.
it's this. I don't want I don't want to say it because it makes me sound like a old jaded boomer. But the whole like all villains are are redeemable. Like you have to just reach out to them. Everyone can be saved. Yeah, but sometimes people are just dicks. Some people sometimes they choose to be dicks and
Yeah,
they're not sorry for it.
yeah,
You
that's the thing. It's like, it's one thing if they
know.
want to change, but if they don't, it's like, all right, well, are we real? It's that thing. It's like, look, I love pop culture stuff and media, but it's also like, all right, so how many times the Joker gone out, and we're just like, look, I'm not saying the Batman has to pull the trigger, but like, why hasn't anyone else done it yet?
Yeah, it's like or like for me, like the whole Thanos thing, like where they try to give him like a quote sympathetic motivation. Like, bro, he's trying to kill everyone. I don't give a shit. There's no redemption for that. He's trying to kill literally half of everything.
Yeah,
Why are you trying to make me feel sorry for him? And like, am I supposed to feel, oh, he just wanted to do good? No, he's trying to kill of everyone.
well, I think for Thanos, it was more. I don't think it was the sympathy thing. I think it's that delusional thing that they're trying to emphasize of like the Mad Titan kind of shit.
I hope so, because I got it. I got to the former, and it did not feel. And again, it did not translate well for me.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, some people said they didn't like Infinity War because they tried to make it, because people saw it as trying to make Thanos be sympathetic. But the thing
Yeah.
is just like, yeah, but if you look at it like through the lens, and like some people said it hit too close to home because it's like an abusive parent kind of a thing, and I'm like, yeah,
Uh,
I kind of think that's the point. Um,
uh,
he says he loves you as he's throwing you off a fucking cliff.
okay, I get it. Oh man, yeah, and like I don't know, it's like, and the payoff for how he dies is like, there's no redemption on his side. Like
Yeah. Well,
there's no like sympathy. There's also no sympathy gained for him. It's like I guess that's you just show. So the fact that his like um sympathetic motivations were in the end just selfishness. I guess it's the way they're trying to emphasize his villainous, something like that.
yeah. Well, I think it's just like him trying to justify that he thought he was in the right, but no one listened to him for his planet. So he's like, "Fuck you guys! I'm gonna show you by doing it to the whole universe," kind of a thing. Um, and then also the thing with Thanos is he had two deaths, so it's not like, the thing is though, the first death wasn't, it was so swift and sudden, there wasn't like a payoff feeling. It was just more
Yeah,
like, oh shit. And then the second
yeah,
one was the version who hadn't gone through it all, because it was the one that jumped through time. So then for that one also, he doesn't have the arc, so he's just a piece of meat to fight.
yeah,
So I think it's more, you just have to look at it as like the heroes finding that redemption, and like they managed to overcome the stupid odds that they had to deal with. Because
yeah.
I guess the way, because it's like, think of the Infinity War as Thanos's film, and then Endgame as the film for the Avengers.
I guess, yeah, okay. I guess you can think of it like that.
It's kind of
I
also
don't know.
it's not related to the redemption thing, but it's like also, um, I forgot that Spider Verse had two parts basically.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna try and spoil anything, but if you look at it, where this film, they said that like there's too much going on, but if you focus
yeah,
on the one of the protagonists is like, this is their film, and then the next one's gonna focus more on the other person, kind of
yeah,
a thing, then it's, I'm just thinking of like how, basically two parters, and like it's a very long film if you put them together, but you can also look at them separately, kind of thing.
Gotcha. I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah, it's that's the thing. It's like that's the other thing about like when you're trying to just have someone justify more or less genocide.
yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Because there's, I think it's the fact that people have, in general, they have different, they value different things differently, and it's very hard to think in the wide, in like in the broad scale rather than your personal. Because there's a saying like, you know, your problems are the worst problems because they're your problems.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
I think that's the in the biggest sense, especially for the for Spider Verse. Is like that's how it came out to me. Like, you know, certain characters' actions, it's essentially because he felt like his problems are are the most important problems because it's his problems, and how that affected everyone else is like essentially the crux of the story.
mm,
And like, it's in the same ways. Like, I think it's trying to trying to bridge the gap between your problems and everyone else's problems, that you have to find that balance on. Because
sure. Uh, it's just yeah. If we're talking about like the scale of the comparisons, it's um hard to find that balance, I guess, because it's like, of course, people are going to be like, well, it's you have to let things happen, but it's like, are you saying that I shouldn't try and do the thing that is who I am, kind of a thing?
yeah, I'll be honest, that like that certain scenes in that certain scenes in that movie made me reminded me of our campaigns. Like, this feels very familiar. I've been in this situation. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Mm. We can go more into detail after
I think
hmm?
I think, yeah, after like give it a month or so.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna
After
say after I
spoilers.
hit stop streaming, and then we can talk more about this, like
Oh, gotcha,
off camera, essentially.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Uh,
I guess if we want, we could do. I don't know if it's redemption, but I think it's satisfying of like after you've gone through it is like because I'm just now that I'm kind of like tying the redemption thing on D&D is also thinking about the campaign I want to do where
yeah, go ahead.
it's huh
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh it's just more of a it feels gratifying to like finally do things that you probably couldn't do in real life um with shitty people just we've all had to deal in the service industry. It's like, oh, okay, oh I can just I can just basically well, at least
I
beat them
can
up.
I can let the intrusive thoughts win. Is
Yeah.
essentially what it's got. Is essentially what's gonna come out in your campaign. It's like
Look,
all the times I've wanted to punch my boss in the face, I can actually do it now.
yeah, I'm really curious how it hope well, if I can make it multiple groups and how they'll interact and possibly influence each other. It's just like, oh, this shit's fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, you could definitely do the multiple groups things. Like, well, you're gonna have to dedicate like different days for it as well,
Yeah, yeah,
and like,
that's the thing. Until I want to, it's just more of the can I do the time slash afford it kind of
yeah,
like
and you can also, like, I think once you've established like a quote unquote uh style slash system on how your part of your campaigns work, you can
yeah.
always like let like, hey Silas, do you want to run a campaign on the same world, and like
Uh,
something like that, right? You can always do that.
that's true. I could. It's just also it's like then
I thought,
that's the thing though. It's like you do know that also means I have if who as it won't be as much work, but I then have to get updates or and like have a Discord of like, all right, so this happened here, so just keep that in mind in your campaign that this thing maybe burned a
yeah,
building down or some shit.
which is already what I'm assuming, like a lot of what Betty and Silas does anyway.
Yeah, I assume so. I just don't know the scale of it.
a lot. I'm sure
I,
it's a
I know,
lot.
I'm sure it's a lot. It's just more of like how much of it does the other person have free reign because the other person isn't technically has a campaign in that direct area, or they're like, you can do anything except this.
Actually, actually wondering if both of them have access to Campfire, because they have a built-in timeline system where they can actually you can actually just keep adding on what kind of stuff happens.
I have no idea about that.
Oh, Campfire is it's essentially a wait. I'll send you a link on Discord. It's essentially
Sure.
writing. It's a writing software.
No, no, I kind of inferred that. What I meant by is, I have no ideas if they have
If
that.
they if they have that,
Yeah.
got you. I'm gonna I'm gonna post it anyway because I
Yeah,
think
yeah, no,
you'll be
go for it.
interested in this thing.
Yeah,
All right.
that might be a useful thing for me in the future.
Yes. It basically it lets you keep maps, it lets you keep character profiles, and then it lets you have a adjustable timeline. Again, it's either for your own writing, for your own like VTuber for your VTuber persona and your multiple personalities. Are they personalities or are they
Um,
versions?
they're
Which
not.
are
I haven't gotten like revealed too much of that, but I'll say they're different people.
okay, gotcha.
Uh, think of it like Spider Verse rules. They're not like
Or
all inhabiting one body, if that's what you're trying to infer.
right then.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, but basically, if it's like you can try it for free, and a lot of the stuff they have. I think for like this is not sponsored by the way. If anyone's wondering, I just actually just really like the software.
yeah, there's not like a code. He said also use this.
I am not getting any money. I wish I would. If you would, if you can hear me, Campfire, I wouldn't mind a sponsorship.
As funny as it is to say that, I was like, I don't think they're gonna see the stream anytime soon.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah,
I think we both know. I think it's just funny to acknowledge it sometimes.
right.
It's like, look, you can hope and dream, but I'm just gonna like, you know, bring it back to reality just a tad bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, was it
Hmm.
uh oh my god, I'm just thinking about John's redemption versus, because also I'm just feeling like, Silas has his own version of redemption for the little lights, so
Uh,
you know
uh,
those
not to mention, not to mention like redemption for his character, like Silas the character as well.
yeah.
Is what I'm wondering as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, your two redemptions are diametrically opposed.
Yeah, like there is a weird sense of hypocrisy. It's like, oh, I'm just trying to get them to defend themselves by also letting them go to battle so that they don't get hurt, but to go to battle so that they can stop the things that are hurting them, but also potentially die. Um,
Yeah, no, but look, how do you
I
think
get it.
we'll? Yeah, no, I think we all get it. It's just also, yeah, Lance has had his conversation of like, look, can we not potentially risk creating new villains by being villains?
Yeah, that seems to be a revolving thing. Like there were honestly like when we didn't know that, well, quote unquote didn't know that the arbiter was Silas. I saw him as a new villain, to be honest. Like, oh, he's throwing around his weight. Oh, we're being like drafted into something that we don't want. That's why Jerry was super like, when he initially became Bradley, he was very sour about it. Like, oh, I don't like this.
Oh,
It's like,
because we're getting recruited into this thing where we don't have that's the thing. I was also be like, well, we're having a different version of John dealing with getting recruited without consent.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, it worked out in the end, I guess. Like, it was a I don't know. Jerry still sees Silas as a potential danger. I'll put that in there. I there's a sense of him that he feels like he's gone too deep, and you can tell
Yeah.
like sure he's like he suggests like especially when he was out there justifying like oh like I'm you can have your own morals blah 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 but when it comes down to it we have to do what's necessary bro that's a that's just like one tick away from stepping into the you know into tyrant zone. You need to reel it in a bit.
Yeah, well, yeah, I that's the thing is like yeah, I basically agree with the sentiment of oh, this is what we're doing. Okay. Oh boy. This is what uh what you were saying?
No, no, go ahead, go
Oh, but yeah, it just would land. The thing is, the difference though, I feel like
ahead.
Lance is trying to see the best in people. The problem is, at least the big crucial thing between, because frankly, he was ready to be like, I guess I'm gonna have to kill John eventually when I see him. Um, the difference with John was it felt like there was no way of changing him. So he like
Yeah,
if he doesn't have hope in like himself or the world, then what he then it feels like Lance can't pull anything out of that.
fair.
Versus when he sees Silas, he sees someone that is down a dark path, but it doesn't mean he can't be
Real,
essentially
real
routed
bad.
to a better path.
Mm, I don't know, cause especially, I mean, I get, especially like I get it with like the entire point of like Lazarus and the way Medi plays like majority of his characters is like, okay, as Goblin, I do what I want. Wouldn't that be funny? And also don't really care about I don't know civilian civilian casualties and all that.
Yeah,
And I I I felt it was I think when that happened when especially when like Menzo essentially got squashed. I felt like okay, we need someone in this party that actually does like aside from aside from Lance that like who feels it deeply, but he feels like I also need someone who gets mad at this, and that's why
yeah,
that's why Jerry kind of like turned into that thing, and that's why also Silas like, hey, that's some pretty strong emotions you
yeah.
feel there. How how do you feel like being a godling? Fuck, is essentially how
You
I
fell into my trap.
ha. This is a plan all along. We
No.
wanted we wanted we wanted you to feel shitty for us killing everyone, and now you're burdened with responsibility. Congratulations.
Get wrecked.
Uh, yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, that's the thing with Lance is like he can be the moral compass, but he hasn't found his voice yet.
yeah. Like especially I think especially with I think it's because he does try to I think he's trying I think it's because he still wants to he's still in that librarian stage where he wants to educate like okay we're doing it this is wrong but you have to understand why it's wrong right
Yeah.
but a lot a lot of like our the more chaotic elements of our party are like nope I just want to do it.
Yeah, well, when people don't want to listen to reason, they want to have fun. It makes it a little hard. Yes.
Yes, it's like it's hard especially hard when like people like characters like Chiquito who does understand the reason still wants to do it anyway.
Uh, yeah. The thing is, like, I mean, we've discussed this before. Uh, Lance has a feel for everyone except, well, he has a feel for everyone and who they are. It's just like, uh, if I think realistically, I think the part that makes it impossible to get everyone together is the fact that we have the trickster god with us.
Yeah. Actually, I'm actually what I'm actually looking forward to, like secretly, is that we're eventually going to like it's gonna come out where all our god stuff is, you know, like fully fledged. Like we're essentially like a step away from full god divinity,
Yeah.
and we realize that because of the because of the brands and slash the personalities that we brought with our divinity, that we are effectively opposing forces. And I'm waiting for that pin to drop and see how that works.
Yeah, look, Lance has been thinking about that. I'm not gonna lie, he's been thinking about that like since day one, where he's just like, I don't know if these make sense together.
Like the trickster god, the thing is, like Isla's not just the trickster god though. She's like, re- what's her specific one? Revelry or something like that.
I honestly don't remember.
It was something. When I
Well,
remember when
I
I
just
read it,
remember
like
it's trickery or something. Or
it's a form of trickery, but it's also like
I mean,
because it's
can
like
you see it on the sigils on Roll20?
we can, but it's not really we can, but it's not really like the sigils don't really say much because I think those are just like in other words like they're just the
The base.
general the base on
Yeah.
where we the foundation on where the divinity is based on, and then whatever we are or as a person grows into whatever that is. So like it's like a seed that's being nurtured by
Yeah.
our so our selves, which is why I don't know, man. I think I think it's because Isla has put in a general. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say evil, but amoral, a very amoral, a lot of amoral tendencies that she became something more than just trickery. It's like I think it's like something very close to hedonism. I believe is what it comes out to. I
I mean, that would make the
jeez.
most sense. Uh, I was gonna say just revelry in chaos.
Yeah, I mean, Isla. I mean, yeah, that's Isla, and that's concerning. I'm also concerned about about like Lazarus because he's come out as destruction, and like,
But my question
hmm,
is, do we have we identified that specifically in character?
that's I'm gonna have to ask Silas about that. Like, do we have that sense on what this person is? I think we
I, th-
can.
I mean, the easiest way would probably be Lance looking at a sigil.
Yeah. Well, unless
So
the sigil has changed, right? I don't
it's
know.
changed, but I think Lance has had enough research that he doesn't have to roll like a 30 to understand it. At least the base form.
Fair.
Um, but yeah, I think Lance just needs to get a good look at it and not roll like utter shit. But it's a knowledge or history, or like I'm proficient in like all of those, so it doesn't matter.
True. True.
Um,
I
I
would
still
I would say I was going to say ask for remembrance, but for some reason it never seems to work.
it worked because I fucking channeled my divinity into it.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, so now I'm just basically in any situation, I'm just gonna look at Silas and be like, I tried using my divinity and see if anything happens.
I mean that's essentially what all of us are going to try doing nowadays. Right? Like divinity question mark.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like it's all. I'm trying to push it because Silas has mentioned no one else has been doing it. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. He just says like guys, maybe you are gods. Maybe lean on being trying to be God.
Yeah, and the fact that Lance is the one with like, I can't think of anything else besides like the most ripeness because of fucking
God,
the
God,
Nunarian.
God,
Yeah,
damn it.
I was like, look,
I think the thing we did like last game, like the whole cry for retreat thing.
yeah,
I think that was a good that was a good use of all of it.
yeah. I think it was. It's just let's see if the others will try and use them in other creative ways or some such.
I, I want to see I want to see Arcturus and Tat like be more out there. To be honest, like
Arcturus is like
fair.
the moon or something. Uh,
I think Element isn't she?
Oh,
No,
elements. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Neus.
Neos. Neos is the moon, and I think Nev is doing a great job with Neas. Is like there, I already have a good sense on what kind of character Neas is, but I want Tat and Tatel and Arcturus to like really push in like what kind of on what kind of person they are, because they're still kind of mysteries to me, man. Like
I mean,
I
yes, it's just kind of like I think in a weird way, it's kind of like um the sense I get is um what Lance and Kaz are is kind of like a different version of Naeus and Arcturus.
hmm
Um, except where the dragon is the more outspoken, where their companion platonically is the more reserved of the two. Uh, and then Ted, yeah, I can't get quite a feel. It just kind of feels like,
he's chill. I got
yeah,
that's the thing I get from him. It's like I'm not sure if it's a good chill or a bad chill. That's the thing.
yeah. Well, Lance has other people he's more worried about right now.
Yeah, the more volatile
Yeah, the
elements
ones
of
that
our
he if he gets stabbed in the back, he'll worry about that when it happens. Right now, he has to worry about the things that are just pointing a bomb around everywhere.
I I I honestly worried about Chiquita. I'm actually worried about Chiquita, to be honest. If like as Jerry, I'm worried about Chiquita because I think Lazarus brings out the worst in her.
Yeah, but what I'm hoping, in and out of character, is Lance can then cause it to it by not focusing on Chiquita, but Chiquita's domain of balance. It'd be like, okay, enough of the destruction. What if we fix some shit now, please? I beg of you,
Yeah. Oh man,
because everything's on fire right now.
everything's on fire. Everything is on fire. What are we doing? What are we doing on on Wednesday? Dear God.
Well, I'm basically gonna say everyone hold hands and do a prayer circle as we all try to use our powers to not to
Fall.
yeah, because theoretically all of us will be fine. Still as Lance, and I would also hope as Jerry would try and save as many people as possible. Ideally,
Oh
the
yeah.
whole ship or more.
Well, or more. Like not gonna lie, we tried our best with the whole retreat thing. I still think that a lot of them are dead. Like that's a 30 mile that's a 30 mile radius, man. No one, not a lot of people will be able to outrun that.
I don't know how fast they go, so I'm just hoping, man.
Like especially for the infantry. I'm not like
Well, I thought they were
optimistic
all in
about
the ship, so that's all I can say, man. Because they said they had room for us, so I was like, okay, well, I don't know, fuck.
yeah, but like there were people in the front lines though. Like I don't know,
Look,
man.
I'm just
Like
going to assume those people are going to be dead either way.
yeah, and
For my
I was
consciousness, I can't worry about every single one, or else I'd be up.
I know. Like in my conscience that I told we've done what we can. Because like there's no like there was nothing else we could have done. Like yes, we could have like I don't know physically picked them up one by one, but God, that could have kept us. That also could have
That
kept
could
us
have,
in the explosion.
yeah.
Like within reasonable doubt, we've done all we can, and I think that's more than what people can say.
Well,
Because
I was gonna
I
say
don't.
what the two of us did. Everyone else was just like, all right, we're just gonna stand here and run. And it's like,
Yeah, it's like,
please, can anyone
wait.
else try and channel? Please, any of you.
Uh, everyone was like, "Oh shit, we gotta run! We gotta run! There are people here!" The both of us were like, "Dude, there are people here! We need to get them out
And
too!"
I'll say at least that Calistro was trying to call them and like tell them.
Yeah, Kelster would at least, yeah.
Yeah, the
But
problem
everyone
is
was like,
the rest of the group is either sociopaths or people who are like, not my problem.
"Yeah, oh man,
Yeah.
it is a weird like, it is a weird contrast that I actually had to put in the character that gives a shit, while I'm also playing the character that also gives very little shits."
Well, that's your redemption arc out of character.
Yeah, honestly, yes, honestly, yes. Jerry is essentially my redemption for John. I'm like, Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I fucked up.
Guess wasn't enough. I need to course correct even further.
I fucked up. Look, that one guy, he's kind of a lost cause. Here's a good. Here's a good. Here's a new guy. He is like zero doubts, completely good. I made him completely good. Not a. I wouldn't say not an evil soul in it, not an evil thought
Thought.
in his mind, but he's generally a good person.
I was
I
gonna
can assure
say,
you that.
is the redemption arc gonna be, and then Jerry stabs the fuck out of John, and we're done?
Nah.
I know it's not gonna work that way because there's no like emotional ties for the two.
Yeah. I don't. They've only met. Jesus, they've only met in like twice and they haven't. There's not like direct confrontation with each other either.
But yeah, the way it just looks is Jerry's like he's bad, and then John's like, who is he?
Who this? Who this?
Ugh.
I think the way I see it, John remembers. Well, John definitely. I think the one of the biggest people that he remembers on his time in Faerun is definitely Silas because he has a lot. He has a lot of. He has a lot of baggage with Silas. He. I think he. I think he's only pretending to not really remember Lance to piss him off a little bit,
Is he really?
but he does
He's doing that now?
a little bit.
Oh my god.
He remember he remembers you. I mean, like not like not he doesn't like have strong emotions
Vividly.
about you, but he
Yeah.
does remember you. But he also knows that oh, this kind of pisses him off. Kind of funny, and
Jackass.
he does and he
Uh,
does act and he actually does still have a soft spot for Kaz. He does remember Kaz, and that's the only three people he and Caiaphas.
yeah, well,
Caiaphas,
because he
but
murdered the fuck out of him.
yeah, no, and the thing is, he murdered the fuck out of him, and then he somehow survived.
Yeah, well,
So
that's the
he's a little
yeah.
peeved about that. He's not, and the thing is, he's never been like he's butt heads with Caiaphas, but he's never been like he never had like ill intentions for him until he said, okay, okay, your job is to kill him. The only in other words, like the ill intentions he had for Caiaphas was never like internalized.
Well, it was only after the not getting the lance.
Yeah, it's like fuck, and like
Why'd you
even
ruin
then,
this
that's
for
just
me, you asshole?
yeah. It's like if anything, it's mild frustration, and the fact that he realizes that Caiaphas is essentially still walking around, especially after he threw a bomb at him. It's like
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's like meeting that one coworker that you don't like, but for some reason you're being assigned to the same project over and over again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like oh, this fucker again.
I feel like in the working with that person is like rock or something at this point.
Oh, Rock. Huh.
Is
Rock has not. Yeah, he's worked together with Rock, but it's always been like we don't like. We've acknowledged we don't like each other, right?
yeah.
Okay, that, that's like it's like a
So
mutual.
by acknowledging it, it doesn't like all right, let's go whatever.
Yeah, like we don't like each other, but we are working together. Okay, and like it's that acknowledgement. Like it's a very business relationship. In fact, the thing is, like every relationship that John has in the whole Scarlet King forces, it's all business related.
Well, yeah.
Even with even with the Scarlet King, he doesn't even like it's. He's explicitly said from day one, "I have no loyalty to you. I don't. I'm not serving you. I'm serving your purpose."
I have no
And the
loyalty to you.
reason,
I bitch, I'm gonna kill you. I said that from day one.
yeah, and the fact that that he's because he's going like he's only loyal to the purpose and right now, the Scarlet King is not acting towards that purpose because he's acting like a supervillain against Silas, and that's actually the part that kind of ticked John off. Like, dude, if when we talked, it's all about like, hey, there's a bigger picture, all we have to do is like kill all the things, but then all the details like, oh, I want this guy to suffer. I want to make him. I want to make him like rude today. I want to kill his family and all that. It's like, bro, what happened to like the bigger picture thing? That's what I was in for. And now you're telling me that's not the point? And
Yeah.
that's kind of the catalyst of saying, okay, he's not who I thought. Okay, this job is not what I thought it was meant to be. I thought I was doing the big picture thing, but it turns out I'm just helping another tyrant, and I don't like that. So that's why he's currently working to quit.
Yeah.
And again, it's
Meanwhile,
not
Lance is just gonna be like, "Yeah, weird. Maybe if we talked about this, I could have pointed this out to you."
again, again, I had again,
Yes, I
I
know he's a
literally have
dumb
no control.
16-year-old ish.
No, aside from that, when I really didn't mean to talk it out, and then the DN said, this happens." Uh-oh. Really had no
Uh,
control over that, okay? I really did want to talk it
yeah,
out.
but again, both in and out of character, I would be like, "You did what? You talked to who? You said yes. You did. You were willingly saying, 'Let me think about it' with the first guy, and then the second guy went, 'That guy sucks. Listen to me.' Okay." That's basically how it went.
Well, yeah. Like,
Shake.
AO said shit that I didn't want
Yeah.
to hear. Scarlet King said stuff that I did want to hear. Who do you think I'm going to buy
Oh my
from?
god. Yeah, and I, as the bard, I'd be like, people can lie. That's a thing, right?
And in his, like, I think in his head, like, no, man, this guy's different. He's taking out of the system, man.
Except he has his
He's
own system of taking over shit.
Yeah, and like again, dumb 17-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
I really do, I do really. It really is like it's like when you're young and you've discovered, like, I don't know, a counterculture very early on
Yeah.
when you were young. The first time you've encountered a counterculture and how
He's a
much it
bad
takes.
boy, but he's a bad boy that gets me.
Exactly, it's like you get swept over, you get swept through from the ideology, and that you go deep dive into it without really thinking about it. I think that's how I saw John's turn to the Scarlet King. That's how
Oh
it
yeah,
felt.
I get it. It's just like fucking
It's dumb.
dumbass 17-year-old agree to basically help end the universe so he could go, I guess I'm gonna end even more of it.
Yeah. Well, in his head, it's like, well, if I killed everyone, including the Scarlet King, and then myself, like, life will work out, right?
How does that even make sense? It's like I don't know how that I don't know that logic. It's like life finds
I
a
think.
way. It's like, but you killed life. I don't. What are you proving?
Well, like, yeah, I think it's the whole, like, life. Yeah, I think it's from the fact that he came from the Feywild. It's like life finds a way. He keeps saying that even if you kill it, even if you like do whatever you can to it, it will persist no matter what. So in his head, he wants to kill everything, but he knows that that's a mute point because it will find a way. It's that weird ideology
So
that he's
he
carrying
just
into.
wants to feel like he did something, even though he's acknowledging it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
He wants to get rid of he wants to get rid of what he believes is the unfair bits of the
So
current.
that new unfair bits can take over.
But that's not his. But
He,
he wants to, again. It's like he at least he took part in getting rid of the
yeah,
bits he
yeah, I
didn't
know.
like.
I'm just like it. If we had this conversation, I would be like, okay, so what happens after you get rid of it? You're gonna kill yourself. Okay, so after you kill yourself, things are just gonna go perfectly without your supervision. Things are just gonna work out. A new tyrant's not gonna show up because there's a power vacuum. Like how does this work?
Well, if there's no one around, then there's no power vacuum.
That'd be one of the times where I was just like, all right, I'm gonna roll and uh, um, uh, unarmed strike to just slap the shit out of you. It's like, what the fuck? It's like,
He's he he has an intelligence of he had an intelligence of 8, man.
oh my god, yeah. Look, Lance is not, he is slightly above average. He is not that smart. You just have to read more books than anyone else in his village.
And John is extremely dumb and has not read a book ever.
Meanwhile, I'm dealing with the fucking consequences every time a wisdom roll comes up because we're never gonna do an intelligence save.
Yeah, that there's something very actually even our stats are like completely diametrically wrong, like opposite. Like John is very convicted, like his conviction is very strong,
Hmm.
but he is not smart. Like his wisdom is really high, but he as a like both like intelligence being his dumb stat and as a person, he is not smart. But Lance is like,
Uh,
oh, you're really well read and everything, and but a lot of things get to you, like uh, like wisdom fails and all that.
yeah, because he read about it, he never had experienced it.
Yeah,
I was
so like
like,
there's
what?
a
Friggin' day one is like, okay, I'm gonna go out adventuring. I'm gonna learn about these things, elves and shit. Oh, cool. Wait, what? There are werewolves? Oh, okay. Wait, Denarians? Wait, what? Lalamet? What?
wait,
Snorri
Scarlet King.
rising into power? What? That was like in 3 days, maybe
Yeah,
two.
that wasn't true. That wasn't true. They said you were the only ones that saw the story thing.
I was
You
the
were
one
the
who
only.
got blown away by like Lalamet flying over us and be like, oh shit, and I got damaged.
Yeah, and then you eventually saw, and eventually you went and get tried and helped someone try to put moves on her. It's a weird circle.
This is revenge for flying by me so fastly. I got pushed into the trees, bitch.
Yeah, like, oh, you flew past me. Here, I have a friend that wants to bang you.
Look, if he either you kill him or he survives, it's a win-win, sort of for me.
Yeah,
It's sort of. I'm not gonna say it is.
yeah.
Just
Speaking of
hmm?
Denarians, I'm worried about having that Denarian of corruption with Lazarus. I am actually worried about that.
I don't think I technically know that in character.
You don't know that in character.
Yeah.
You know about you because you've seen him, like the whole the rebellion Denarian go to Cam, and that's not a, that's I'm worried about that, but at the same time, I'm more worried about Cam like abusing the power than I'm worried about the Denarian
Well, because
because
he's a
Jerry
dumb
actually
like kid
he's a dumb
still.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. But actually, the Denarian, to be honest, if he didn't like decide to go for Cam, like freaking Jerry was going to like talk to him like rebellion is for is the flame that like that people get lit up to defend themselves, and that's very much my under my banner is like is to protect the people. So I think we can work together, and I was going to see if I could try to work out in how I could share a bit of my divinity with that Denarian. You know, I'm not going to force it out. If they
Are you basically
if
giving him your blessing?
yeah, because the, in his head at least in the way Jerry sees it, rebellion is rebellion is usually only justified when against tyranny, and you know so far from what he can tell, this is a good guy. This Denarian really does like think about is fighting against tyranny.
Yeah.
So he was gonna be like, okay, you know what? You seem to be in a depowered state. Maybe we can work things out. But yeah, Silas definitely has something planned for that Denarian for Cam,
I
so
mean,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
do anything about it. I'm not gonna
So,
do anything about it.
well, you
That was
can
just a
still,
thought that came up in my
yeah.
head.
I mean, you can still technically interact with them to see what
Yeah,
happens.
I
Because
mean,
if it's in character, it's in character.
yeah, I mean, if I share a bit of divinity to that thing and it's in Cam, does Cam get a bit of that divinity?
I mean, by the general transitive property, I guess so.
Does that mean he becomes a follower of mine? That do I get a level up? Do I get
Oh
do
my
I
god.
grant a blessing?
I mean, we don't quite know how we get power
That works
divinity.
yet. We don't know how that works yet. That's the thing.
Yeah, the thing that's the reason also why I'm exploring things more now. You just go like, I don't know, fuck it, let's see what happens.
That's actually something I might. That's actually something I might I might explore it next, at least in the coming sessions.
Yeah, well,
We'll
that's
see.
the thing though. Lance is terrified of is every time someone fucking meditates, bad shit happens. Even though, oh my god.
That's my fault again. Look, okay.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that was going
it
to
did
happen.
originate from you. Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah.
Look, that wasn't my fault. I didn't like. I was a monk. Okay, I was a monk. I was like, oh, what do monks do? Meditation. Okay, let's try to meditate. Oops, let him in.
I don't know if it's a sign of like Lance's luck or affinity with all this stuff, but the only time he's meditated to talk to AO, it worked out. But literally everyone else, the shit has gone fucky. For Gandhi or Chiquita, John, and now
Arcturus.
Arcturus. Yeah.
Well, Arcturus is okay. She just wet herself a little bit.
Oh my god. Yeah, but it could have got
That
way
that
worse.
it could have been way worse.
Yeah, I do. But also,
Chiqui-
come on, you know you did that on purpose.
yes, of course I did. Of course I
Yeah.
did.
So don't act and go like, oh, come on. It's fine if you make the joke, but don't act like you don't know what you're doing.
I have to play some innocence.
Uh huh.
Anyway, what's this? Uh, Chiquita's I think was the most immediately bad thing when she meditated,
Yeah.
because. But I think long lasting wise, yeah, John's meditation probably takes the cake.
Sure, sure.
That
I don't know. I think that's more of a subconscious thing because I don't know if Lance noticed you were or John was meditating, and that's
yeah.
the original thing. But knowing both times for Chiquita have ended badly for the
Mm-hmm.
meditation is also why his fears of it could have got way worse for Arcturus.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows if the meditation lasted longer and then we didn't pull her out, it could have exacerbated it.
That's true. Well, Arcturus is elementals. I'm still wondering how that's gonna come up.
Well, I'm
It's gonna be cool if
wondering because she's a was it water not dryad
she, a water nymph,
nymph. There we
essentially.
go, water nymph. But if it's elementals, does it also imply that other? It's not. Maybe it's going to be like a combination of all of them. Then
Yeah.
that's the
I
assumption.
have. Yeah, that is what I'm wondering. Like, what if she like eventually like taps into like all the elemental planes, and she can like change to whatever
Arcturus, the
whatever.
Avatar.
Essentially, that'd be sick. That would be sick.
Uh,
And you know, elemental powers are generally neutral, so you know, that's all fine for me. That is the shadow, and I'm worried that hasn't come into play quite yet.
well, Tat so far hasn't done anything evil. Just I think Tat was the only one who didn't want to talk about themselves, really,
Yeah.
or the most prominently didn't talk about themselves.
Always the goddamn fairies, man. It's always the fairies that are sus. Because they're fairies.
Them and their little lies and hidden truths.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's always the fairies that are sus for some reason.
Uh,
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 I
hmm?
no no. Let's see. What? Uh, I just blacked out there for some reason.
That's fine.
I just blacked out. Okay.
I look. I think all of us. If we didn't have it before, we do now. We have some form of ADHD because we have like content brain. It's like gotta keep talking, gotta create content. What did I do before? I don't know. We gotta keep going.
Yeah. No, especially like in if you're streaming, I think you know it's like, oh, I have to keep talking. If I don't keep talking, I have to make at least some kind of voice, because if I don't
Yeah.
if I don't make any noise, there's gonna be some dead air, and dead air is bad. Oh no, I have to keep talking. Wait, what was I talking about again?
I think yeah. The thing I found though, I think people don't mind if there's some dead air for me because they say I'm comfy or relaxing, which works. The problem is
Yeah.
I don't know how to then turn that into making it into something where people will watch or like make it something clippable unless it's like a very specific moment.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't consider myself a comfy streamer. I'm more of I'm chill, but then again, uh, and then looking at my clips, I'm not. There are times where I'm very not chill. There are
Look,
times where I'm
yeah.
very not chill, and I'm trying to capitalize on that. But at the same time, I don't know, man. Like we're I think it's it hasn't been said enough, but content creation is hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not denying that.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's just that, since it's so, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's so everyone wants to do it. But man, is it hard to like do it well.
yeah. Well, the problem I think is for content creation, it's like you can technically do anything you want. It's just what is how do you make that into something that people will watch and or how do you capitalize on something without before it becomes the time is already passed for it kind of a thing, because it's like yeah, you technically have a reference, but those references may have been outdated by the time you even think about using them.
Yeah, I know, right? And also, sorry.
Okay.
Also, like, I don't know, because since there's just so many people, and like, how do you, again, especially with the whole VTuber scene, like, even in my very niche, like, I'm a freaking furry VTuber for God's sakes, there's a lot of us. There are
Yeah.
a lot of, and, and like, just because of personal taste, I don't participate in the common things that my technically what my niche would be into, like VR chats and all that. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
Yeah, which is what's popular in that circle. But I I don't see anything wrong with that. It's just not my thing, and like I can't help but feel like sometimes I've like written myself into a corner, and that's why I was thinking of the whole rebranding thing. And at the same time, like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, man.
Yeah.
That's not only is that going to cost money. It's like that's so tiring.
No, no, for sure. Um, it feels like an easier said than done because like, hey, I'm trying to figure it out too.
Yeah,
But I think
sure.
it. Hmm?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's just more of I think for both of us, it's seeing what works, but then making it work for us, kind of a thing of like, or um, we can't just follow the trends because some of it gets soul crushing after a while. Um,
Oh yeah,
so it's just more of like figuring out like what am I interested in, and is there how can I make it displayed in a way where other people would be like, oh, I wanted that thing, even though I may have not known I wanted it. Slash, oh, this is something I like, but no one has capitalized on it because no one has bothered for one way, reason or another. Because I feel like I feel like not just us, but just our whole circle in D&D is just like, yeah, we're trying to make show what we love, but also it's like not we're basically hipsters in a sense, if that makes any
yeah.
sense.
I get it. No, I get what you mean. And
Uh,
like
so.
I do love how supportive our like circle of friends are, to be honest. And but again, the intrusive thought in my head is something like it does, and I don't mean this like I don't mean this like in a bad way. Like I don't, because I don't want to take it for granted. But at the same time, I can't think of another word for it. It sometimes feels like a bit of a circle jerk.
Oh yeah,
If you
but
get me.
yeah, yeah, circle jerk or echo chamber kind of feeling.
Yeah, it does feel like an echo chamber, and I especially Twitter, man. Jesus Christ, like apparently, yeah, you can really tell, you can really feel if you're not playing for blue, you're not reaching anyone you haven't reached out to yet anymore. You have
Yeah.
to, yes,
Well, look, there's a reason why I look up specifically on Twitter, drop your PNG stuff or like tier list, and be like, look,
yeah,
I don't know if they're necessarily gonna be a follower, but also there's on the off chance that they may raid me one time and that adds some new followers. I'm gonna take it.
fair, that's fair.
And look, I understand we may not be the best of friends because we're all content creators, but like, hey, look, ideally, some of them are eventually will become my friends, or we play D&D for over a year and wonder where our lives are gone.
Uh, oh God, play TNT for over here and wonder where our lives has gone. That's a mood. I oh God, that's hitting me right now.
Yeah, I have that ability with a lot of the things I say. I don't try and do it on purpose, but that's how it is.
That's hitting me right now. I was like, oh God, it has been over a year. I don't even remember what last year was like.
Well, I'm just remembering like because I think this was I think I was I were you this was so
Hmm.
far ago. Were you there when it was like the meetup thing? Where I think it might have been, I think after or before, but like getting to talk to like Silas Gandiva and Medicus.
What do you mean, like
It was
meet up?
just like a hangout kind of a thing. Like oh, let's all meet in a VC to like talk about like D&D before we start the campaign thing.
Oh no, I since I joined pretty late on the campaign, joined in like third session, second
Yeah,
session.
I think it was more of I wasn't sure if you had joined that thing. I was like, I don't think you did. Like,
I didn't.
okay,
I don't think I did. I don't
yeah,
think I did. But we did, I think we did have a discussion like after my first session, like, oh, so how like like what's your background and all that. Like, yeah, I distinctly remember that, and
okay,
I think I've because I think before joining in, I the reason why reason why like Gandhi reached out to me whether I wanted to play with them is that I reached out pretty early, like, oh, I like D&D. I played D&D before,
yeah,
and like I think I it just came out that it's yeah it's a lot of small interactions that eventually brought into our little circle of our little circle of friends, which honestly it's becoming a good touchstone on of mine for for my weeks. Like,
yeah, yeah. I look forward to it, even though sometimes I'm out of it. It's
yeah,
just I hate the fact that my work is doing more in office stuff. So it's basically I drive home immediately and get ready for D&D. I'm like I don't have time to get in the mindset. I just have to go.
yeah, gotcha. I know how that feels. Well, I know how that feels because there are times where like, oh God, I have to wake up. Oh yeah, it's time. Shit, gotta get ready. I should get some coffee. That's why. That's why, like in the first 10 minutes of the campaign, like I'm still kind of delirious.
Yeah, well, that makes sense for the time difference and all that.
Yeah, I because like I usually work at around I usually start work around 6 p.m. Then 6 p.m. my time, and then usually I'm usually done with it by around 1 a.m.
Oh
Sometimes
jeez.
2 a.m. Which sometimes around 2 a.m. And then I try to go to sleep, and then I wake up at around 6. Like I usually get like, at least 4 or 5 hours in, and sometimes you're more tired than you realize, and you wake up an hour later, and then you start panicking. It's like shit.
Yeah, definitely had moments of that before work. I'd be like, okay, I haven't. I'm not late yet. Everything's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
uh, there's a reason why you put enough of a buffer time because you know you're gonna fuck up at a certain point.
This is why I have 4 alarms.
Yeah, exactly. It's like back when I had to like had when I had a regular 9 to 5 job, but I say regular 9 to 5, it was 13-hour shift. But um
Hello? Oh no.
or the office
Oh, okay.
with an hour to spare. Like I can still like kill time. I can be my phone or anything. At the very least, I should be able to be there on time because I can only imagine the amount of shit that could like fuck me up before going to work.
I hate
And I've
the fact that like, yeah, you need to be on time for work. Uh, was there traffic? That's not my problem. You should have been here.
yeah,
I was like, how was I supposed to anticipate like double the traffic sometimes?
yeah, I know, right?
And
Man.
I'm looking forward to all of you hating stuff in my campaign. All right, everyone. Team meeting, everyone. There's not much to talk about, so I figured, we could do, little icebreakers and get to
Oh
know each other better.
God, no.
It's the worst.
Uh, let me guess. Our long rests are just going to be pizza parties. Is that all that is?
Well, if you want that to be the feast that you
Uh,
if you travel with like a cleric or something, be like, oh yeah, they're gonna have the feast ready for you. It's a pizza party. It's like, oh no, no, we're gonna mix it up. It's
it's oh,
Panda Express or whatever I'm gonna rename it to.
oh God. Uh, the, the weirdest thing about when I was in the U.S. is that I actually did not partake in a lot of fast food, not even Panda Express.
How did you avoid it when that's like a staple essentially?
I mean, well, there was a lot of. I think there was enough like local food places that were cheap enough, like some groceries places where they have like canteen foods. Because
Okay.
this was Miami after all, and like every like 70% of the people I met there were Cuban. So
Okay, fair enough. I'm
like
still just surprised the way you said barely.
yeah, like I think the most fast food I've eaten there was Subway because that was one closest to my work, and even then I barely ate there. Yeah, because I didn't go to like I didn't even eat in McDonald's for the entire time I was in the US. I haven't even stepped into a McDonald's.
Not missing much, but okay.
I know, I know, and that's kind of the reason why I did. It's like I know what McDonald's tastes like. It's the reason why I didn't want to. Oh,
I
ooh,
mean, if you've had
ooh.
it anywhere, you probably had better versions of it somewhere else.
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, there are. I think it's weird that because there's regional McDonald's and there's American McDonald's, and American McDonald's is the dullest one.
Look, if we put seasoning, people will get upset. Okay.
I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah. Look, I'll unfortunately, I'm dark enough that when I ask for spicy food, they'll give me spicy food. But I have a running thing with a friend when we go out, and then we order the same heat level. He's like, "Ah, I got white boy spice," and I taste his, and yeah, it's not as spicy as mine.
God. Like, what would are we talking like just like slightly peppery? Is that what we're talking about? Is
Uh,
that
well, for example, like the heat level thing, the 1 to 10 thing. Sometimes I get
yeah,
like a 8. I don't. I generally don't do 9 or 10 just because I don't want to risk like having the heat overtake the flavor.
yeah,
Um, but I think eight's like 8 and 7 are like a good safety, and then maybe if I feel risky, I'll go higher. And then my
yeah,
friend will do similar level, maybe 7. He doesn't
yeah,
have a high as tolerance as me, but I can definitely tell like what it's not even just like the taste. You can see like the places where they have like the chili oil kind of stuff or
yeah.
the flakes. There's a significant like lack of them in his, even though he ordered that. They're just like, oh, we don't want to deal with a white boy complaining about
I get,
it's too
I
spicy.
I mean clearly that the reason they have that kind of like mentality is because they've experienced people
Yeah,
like
that's the
like
reason why
try.
my friend doesn't complain. But he's like, damn it, it's because of our other friend that he expects this. Because usually it's like, oh yeah, we're ordering them, and then like we have a friend who's like basically saying, if I could get negative, I would get negative.
God damn.
He's a bitch. I don't know what to tell him to say besides that. Well, that's the thing. He's that kind of that friend who's like, I'm fine with saying that because he's the kind of friend where I'm like, you probably shouldn't go into anything where people pull up your social media kind of stuff. So I can call him out on it.
Yeah,
But also, he's the kind who's just like, I'll make the joke myself, kind of a thing, or like, oh.
I
So
got you.
if
So
I
like he's
don't do
aware.
it, yeah,
He's aware. That I'm having self awareness is really like it's underrated. The fact that like if you're aware of your fallings, that a lot of people will forgive you even more. That is of course
yeah,
that is with the caveat that you actually try to be better.
yeah. Well, see, he's selective self awareness.
Oh, that's a hmm, hmm.
Well, look, he's my boy because he's been there for me for like decades now. So it's kind of the thing where it's like I can't. he's with me. I can't just like disown him, kind of a thing, because he's helped me out in bad situations, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm just gonna be upfront about that kind of thing. But also he's done that thing where someone said like, "Hey, that's offensive. You shouldn't say that." And he'll counter it with like, "Okay, fine. I am that thing."
Mm.
Uh, because I said that derogatory thing. Are you happy now? It's like, no, I don't know what you're trying to do right now because you're becoming more of an ass right now.
I'll be honest. Like it's a little weirder here because again, not not. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
All right, there we go. It's a little weirder here because like I'm not in the U.S. and
Yeah.
like I have of course I have friends who like don't really interact with a lot of people from the U.S. And because of our D&D games, like I kind of get what I kind of I like that I have that interaction with you guys and I know what's cool and not what's not cool.
Hmm.
There are times when I'm around just like my Filipino friends and they say stuff in my head like, "Whoa, okay, okay, I know we're not, I know we're like in a completely different culture, but god damn, we can't say that shit out loud."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, the reality is that like, look, there's some jokes that you're to say around certain circles of friends because there's an understanding of it is just a joke.
Yeah, but
Um.
also like, no, it's not even just because of friends. It's just because I think it's because culturally, like, and the weird thing about Filipino, like, especially when it comes to those kinds of jokes, those sensitive jokes.
Yeah.
Your stream went bye bye.
Yeah. I've noticed. I'm just it I just haven't stopped the recording, so I'm just like we'll just keep going.
All right then.
Yeah, I'll just
So
upload it later and be like, it's fine.
all right.
Because I don't want to
But
try and do a stop stream and then restream because it's like it when it connects, it connects because it drops intermittently, and I'm
okay, I
like,
gotcha.
yeah, it's back now. So
Okay, good, 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 good.
yeah, the
So
I don't know why it did it like that. It could just be
weird.
Twitch, really,
Fair. So like
because we were still talking. But yeah,
what was he talking? Oh yeah. So like for a for a culture that's not in the U.S., who's who's actively exposed to Western culture, there's actually a very weird like disconnect on how we perceive that perceive the media. So like I like no fault of anyone, but just because of how it was, majority of Western media has a white perspective.
oh
I
yeah,
think like in general, right? And I think that nuance is evident in the US where they realize, oh, this is a very white perspective and we should understand like you get that it's flawed in some way
yeah,
or at least you acknowledge the fact that it's not representative of how on how real life is because you're living real life. But if you're not living in the US and you're exposed to like this kind of perspective where it's it's a white man's perspective and you're not a white person and also you don't really you're not really exactly what you call in a racially diverse or at least not somewhere where racial differences don't really take into account
yeah,
where to you it's just funny haha things that Americans do.
yeah.
So for some reason, a lot of especially Asians, I don't think this is just a Filipino thing. It's also an Asian thing because even the Japanese have the same like mentality where their perception of different races, especially like let's say black people or Latino people, is very white. It's in the white perspective
It's
because of
whatever's
Western
been
media.
shown to them by
Ex- exactly,
the
and
culture's
that's
been
why
presented. So
yeah, and because they don't associate, oh, I'm not white, so this is not my perspective. No, they say, oh, so this is the perspective that Americans have, so I guess this is okay. And that's what comes around in
uh
in Asia. It's like, and
yeah.
that's what I'm saying all this because this is why people think Asians are racist. Okay, this is why people
Yeah,
think Asians are
well,
racist.
that's the thing is I think the issue is that everyone is very from the understanding of look, we know, therefore everyone else should know.
Yeah.
And I would
I
technically agree now that we have the internet, but also look, some of them also don't speak English or have gone through the same internet experiences as everyone else. So that's yeah, and it's like
yeah, and also I've learned terribly that what your internet sometimes look very different from other people's internets.
yeah, especially when sometimes the government says what you can or cannot interact with. So
Yeah, like, goddamn. So this just me like I'm just me like saying telling to the audience like, look, if you're what do we say, like first generation Asian parent or relative, or your relative from the mainland is following you and they come off as racist, this is the reason why.
yeah,
And I want I want people to understand that it's like it's not from malice.
it's
It's not.
not. And I think you can help them.
You can help them understand.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
because
they might refuse to learn because it's a little harder for the new ones. Is hard for people sometimes.
yeah, or
But
they feel like they're too set in their ways, kind of shit.
yeah, but
But yeah, it's not out of malice, but also I will say this, that we can move into something that's less, uh, worrisome, I guess.
yeah,
Is it's good to try and want to change people or teach them, but also try and understand the way you try and change or teach them is also going to influence how receptive they are to it.
true,
Uh,
true.
because with anything, if it feels like they're being attacked, they're going to get defensive. And we'll leave it at that. Because, yeah, some people don't want to learn when it feels like you're just yelling at them.
That's true. Sometimes, sometimes, yeah, like, and sometimes they also act like negatively when they like if you try to correct people by yelling at them, sometimes they'll stand their ground and still and stay on the wrong to spite you.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that before.
Oh, I've seen all that. I've seen it a lot. And like
Yeah. It's like,
that
oh, yeah, you think you're better than me? Okay.
like yeah, that's there's a reason why the whole anti woke thing is a thing. It's like, I mean, guys, you both I know they're wrong, but you're not gonna make them feel better by yelling at them.
Yeah. And also, it's not related to this, but there have been arguments where it's like, look, you're right. You're completely right. It's just you've been such an asshole. I'm on their side
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Like, I know you're in the logical right, but I also don't like the way you talk.
Yeah. Could you
Yeah,
you didn't just attack their beliefs, you attacked them. So it's hard for me to defend you.
yeah. I mean, as that is to say, just be nice, everyone. That's all. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
And
Just be nice. It's
I
not hard.
yeah, and look, I understand sometimes people have gone through some stuff so they're tired and like they don't expect it's frustrating when people don't understand when all you've been trying to do is have people understand you. It just, hopefully you
Yeah,
can understand them too, and by trying to understand you can help each other out.
yeah. Yeah, if we just, I just really think that we just need to be nice. We all just need to be nicer to each other, even to people that we necessarily don't agree with. We just have to be nice, man. That's all it is. Because
Yes.
I'm, because, because I'm tired. I think in the end, especially our generation, we're just tired.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
and and here's the thing: hating people or being angry at people is exhausting. It's, it's like it takes a lot of energy to like direct your emotion, especially negative emotion, to that kind of thing. And I'd really rather not do it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to just be nice, to be honest.
Uh I agree, but also quick tangent of yeah, anyone can afford to be nice. And also hello Remy. It's nice to see you.
Hey Remy, hello.
Uh
How's it go? How's it going? We've been at it for a while.
we have but yeah, also just tell me whenever you need to go or something, because
Ah, I'm no, I'm good. I cleared my
Oh,
schedule for this.
okay, well, I appreciate that.
No worries, man.
Yeah. I think you also knew from the time when Silas could even hear how long it could just be like, all right, we're just gonna talk.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk.
Yeah. Which is this is
Uh,
basically the equivalent of like the
our
things we do
post
after.
our post our post session tirades, which like we say bye 5 times, but we go on for another hour.
Yeah, I mean I'm used to that from childhood stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Um,
I mean, god dang, I I don't I don't know what we're gonna be doing this aside from the saving, trying to save everyone from the fall. I are we gonna be fighting? Are we going to be going to the capital? Is that the plan? Are we joining Silas and his stuff?
well, we talked about like regrouping, so I think so.
But my question was: are we regrouping to get away, or are we regrouping to do phase 3? Because again, I've been very confused about the entire thing. It's like I thought the plan was just to get Lazarus and get out. I thought that was the plan.
I'm not gonna lie, I out of character, I've zoned out a lot because I'm just very tired. So I just heard the plan. I was like, okay, I'll try and do my part. That's kind of where I'm going. Look, Lance is trying his best. I don't tell you, he's very tired. He nearly like died because he had no thoughts, head empty.
Yeah, we still we know the full consequences of that natural one in from the false hydra yet?
No, and there's also I've considered the possibility that Silas has decided he's just gonna always have this thing hanging over Lance of just like, yeah, you don't know, you feel like you're forgetting something, but you don't even know what it is,
I
and just
hate when
never
he does
tell
that.
me.
I hate it when he does it. Like, oh, you're forgetting something. What are you forgetting? Don't worry about it,
You can't remember, so it's not doesn't matter. It's like I no, please, I just want to know.
sir. Sir. I already have anxiety issues. You can't do this to me.
This is why I have trust issues.
Oh
Um,
man.
but yeah, it's just the whole situation with that. I don't know because I feel like after the recap we're gonna just figure it out because I think also we're just gonna see like we're also gonna have to recap the aftermath of the tower and see how it went
True.
because all
I'm gonna
we know is the Undertaker's gonna be like, I lived, assholes, now I'm gonna get my revenge.
or like the blast comes out and then suddenly this thing
Flies
starts
in the air.
it's either it flies in the air or like pieces itself back because it's apparently one huge undead. Oh my god, that's actually a very big possibility.
I mean, it is a possibility. That's why I didn't say anything. Um,
Oh
I'm
my god.
hoping not because we did level up, so I'm kind of hoping that's the reprieve for half of, at least a session.
I still can't believe we're only level 17.
I
I feel like
mean,
I feel like we've been dealing with level 20 bullshit all around us.
I mean, yes, but also it's offset by your transformations, I'd say, and the
Yeah, I
fact
guess
that
it's
our
also
parties are the size of a small army.
yeah, god, there's so many of us too, right?
That's sometimes I'm just like, look, I'm just gonna do that one action and then forget what I did. I'm trying to focus. It's just it's hard sometimes.
Just too many too many like I even when we split the party, I think honestly like split the party kind of made everything focus more because like
The
on one
spotlight can
hand like
be on more people because there's less people to fight for it.
exactly like uh I in the end though I'm pretty happy with what where our party is right now. I think we're in a good balance on people who want to go do good things and the chaos goblins that we have, but it really did feel like majority of our campaign was like mostly chaos goblins and you trying to reel us in.
Yeah, look, Kaz is there for support. But Kaz is not going to stop anyone, even though she could physically stop them.
And also, and Kaz has her moments where she's also a bit of a gremlin.
Yes, but she's also the good Chaos Goblin Gremlin.
Like she's the lesser chaos of all of them.
Yeah. Well, because also, how many times has Lance been able to talk Kaz down versus literally everyone else going, nah.
Like I hear you, but nah.
Oh my god, I think there's something with Twitch right now because my frame it just dropped immediately to 0.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Twitch is totally not working right now because
Yeah.
even
Hmm?
god damn,
Well, good thing I'm recording it.
yay, it's all
And
right.
yeah, I'll just have
It's
to
all
I'll
good.
just upload this instead of the stream, but I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah.
I hit affiliate now, so I don't have to worry about my average numbers anymore. It only
Well,
matters when I realize I could hit partner, but I'm not worried about that.
I mean, uh, I, I mean, I gave up with the whole partner thing. It's like
Yeah,
the,
no, I understand.
especially now, like I decided to like stop. I decided to stop the whole push go hard on Twitch thing when I realized, oh, the cut is very bad.
Yeah,
Like the cut is very bad, and like I think I can do, I like the hurdle to go to jump the first hurdle to jump through in YouTube is a lot harder. I'll give you that,
yeah.
but it's smooth sailing after that.
Yeah, there's more room after that versus Twitch. It feels like you hit that wall and then you're going to
Yeah,
be on that ceiling for a while.
yeah, because like it's on the in for Twitch, it's like the first hurdle is I wouldn't say not significant because apparently there are people who are struggling to get affiliate.
I feel like
And
you just need to have that one person you know who will raid you that one time, and it helps so much.
God, dude, I don't even remember what pushed me over to get reach affiliate. Because the thing is, been streaming on. I was technically streaming on Twitch for around 2 years. Like I did it when I had a PNG, and then I stopped for about 6 or 7 months,
Mm,
and then and then I came back with my like VTuber model.
yeah.
Then it's from there. Like that's what helped me push through affiliate. Like in 3 months. Oh yeah, it took me like 3 months to
Yeah, mine was just
get past.
under 3 months, and then having um Silas and Gendy even being there, and therefore everyone from our D&D group stopping by basically helped push it. So,
Yeah.
woo. Yeah, good thing we're recording because Twitch is not coming back for me.
Yeah, yeah, and Remy says even even the ads are freezing up.
Oh, that's real bad.
Yeah, actually, not looking at it too. The ads are not the ads are not working. That's
I
how bad it is, man. The ads are not working.
Jesus. Uh,
Damn it, man.
well, it is what it is.
Yeah, it, it's all good. So like, I've always been curious about this. Like, where do you see what would you say is Lance's character goal? Like, we know what he wants to accomplish, like for the party and like on a step by step basis. But what do you see him like achieve in the end?
Um, I mean that's a big ask. Him.
It is a, it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it's a big ass, but I've always been curious about it because a lot of what Lance has been going through is basically him trying to react to the situation and trying to fix it.
Yeah,
But it's not really there's no real sense of him there's something he wants to achieve for himself. It's more like, oh, the things around me are broken. Someone has to do something about that.
I think it's getting to the pushing point where now, after meeting the Zenarians, kind of a thing is where Lance, I think, in a way, he doesn't know the context yet, but he's gonna it feels like he's like letting his voice be heard and also speaking up against the propaganda kind of thing, or and build hope again.
Yeah.
Because right now things seem grim and bleak in a sense. Um, and I think uh, this is kind of related to the Spider Verse, but I just because I thought of it, it's just like him trying to figure out what he can do to help in his own way, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Where because everyone is just like, no, we can't do this or that, because it worked only one time, and it's like, well, why can't it work again? Kind of a thing against the Scarlet King, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, because they're like magic can't work, so we're gonna have to figure something else out. I'm like, well, just because someone else failed at it doesn't mean we can't do it better, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's um, I don't think it's like a specific goal. I think it's just more of a Lance is getting ever so closer to breaking free from standing in people's shadows to make his own path.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. As you know, cliche as that can be, it because it's been a build up for a year now.
Yeah, it's like it is a build up for a year, and the funny thing is that everyone saw it like, oh, I think even in the beginnings, like, oh, I, I don't want to like put in like unnecessary pressure to this, but I think ever since we've started the campaign, everyone's pretty much like acknowledged to some point where like Lance is the protagonist in this thing. Like in this campaign, you are the protagonist. I don't think anyone would deny that.
See, that was never my intent because it was
I
it
know, I
always
know, I
yeah
know, I know, I know. Like I said, I don't want to give like unnecessary pressure, but I think has everyone has like the way, especially the way you play it, and the way that the story carries through. It really comes out to like, no, Lance is the protagonist in this thing, and in the end, it's his story. And
uh,
like, not that's not to diminish everyone else's like to say that they're all bit players. Like not that's not to say that everyone else is like just there for like set as a setting or all that. It's
yeah
just that a lot of it's more like a lot of this of the things that happen in this campaign, if you look at it in the perspective of Lance, it makes the most sense because he experiences all the beats like as the protagonist,
yeah
and not like as the leading man, like as like it's his perspective.
because it affects him versus everyone else is more of it
Yeah,
affects
because
them, but it doesn't affect them to that level, I guess, in a sense.
or and it's more like again, it's not like to diminish everyone else's, but everyone else's actions are significant, and it's significant because Lance sees the impact of everyone else's actions. That I think that's a good, that's such a interesting way to see it. It's because like everyone is so impactive. Like
Yeah,
the things that Caiaphas slash Lazarus has done, the thing that Chiquita has done, the things that Isla has done, and what Kaz has done.
yeah,
They're all very big impacts. But Lance is this perspective that we
yeah,
all see that in.
yeah. I see what you're saying.
He's he's the audience surrogate in this at this point, and
That's true.
that's why I see him as the protagonist.
Yeah, no, no, I get that. It's also like him out of everyone, the most feeling of the coming of age kind of a thing, where
Yeah,
he has to step up.
and I feel like I don't know. It's like in like for other characters, it's more like we're being revealed about what about bits and pieces about their characters. While in Lance, you can feel that it's actually growth. Like he doesn't know what he is, and then he's learning what he is. It's
Yeah,
not him revealing; it's actually him growing up.
he's being molded by the things around him into quote unquote the god or man he'll become.
Yeah. So like that's why I think I don't think I'm the only one who sees it this way. It's like he's the protect like I that's why I see him as the protagonist, and that's why everyone has expectations of him. Like both in like both in the campaign, which oddly enough is it's kind of weird if you think about it. Like a lot of like the bigger wigs like Silas, Youth, and everyone else, like they think, okay, you're for some reason you're the one directing this, or at least you're the one going through this, and you're the focal point on this.
We can see
So we're
where
going to
you'll become or you'll grow into, and even though
yeah
he's not thinking about any of that.
yeah, and everyone's seeing that, and also in an audience perspective, like no, this is where this is the lens that we're seeing it through, so we're invested your in your perspective.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I find that fascinating. I think it's the same way like like it's in the same way like that Lance is um i- seen as the protagonist. John is 100% the villain.
Oh yeah.
John is 100% the villain, or at the very least the anti-antagonist or the antagonist, or at least the you know
The Deuter Act. I forget what that was called.
Durog Deuterogonus. I forgot what it, I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce that thing. Yeah,
Deuter agonist. The person second importance to the protagonist in a drama.
sort of. But yeah, I think basically like it's a mirror. It's a mirror, and I think that it's because there's such a distinction to that mirror,
Yeah,
and such a distinction to that mirror, and like you want to see those reflections converge again,
that's true. Yeah, and
and that's why everyone's invested in it. And again, this is not, and that's not to say that everyone else's characters are not important. No, far from it. If anything, everyone else is shaping this. Everyone else is shaping where this goes,
yeah,
because
everyone's playing their parts. It's just like you said, Lance is the one that's everything around him is he takes in personally, so it's gonna also shape him the most. So
yeah,
you're seeing the growth. Uh,
like
yeah, but also just real quick, I was gonna say, yeah, Remy was saying Lance's time to shine. Yeah, shines so brightly he blinds everyone when he transforms.
essential flashbang.
Uh, I was very confused when the transformation at first, where everyone said the light, and then I saw, I was like, oh, has it? Oh, yeah, okay, yep. That's just all white. It's just blinding for some people.
Ah,
There's no
I,
night mode, even though he's an owl.
I'm I'm still surprised that Jerry's god form is essentially uh, the angels from Diablo.
I'm not, because Silas and Medicus love their references.
Yeah,
At this point, I'm
which
like, all right, so when does it, so who's gonna get an Ava unit now?
yeah. I'm I also I mean, as well as invested as I am with like Lance's story, John's story, and everyone else's story, I want to see Kaz go back to their people. Now that now that I think about it, that's a long thread that we haven't gone to yet.
Yeah, it's just the problem right now is we don't have a moment to be like, okay, we can go away from the world ending to visit them.
The thing is, like, no, we've been like we have some personal issues. No time. World's ending.
I mean, basically, yeah. That's also, I think, the reason why I don't have time to think about like what Lance's end goal is, because he's just like, I don't know, what's the next mission? Who are we fighting? Is it an Aryan? Is it a Baron? Who's next? Who do I have to heal? Because Isla's not taking a nap right now.
That's okay. I still can't believe you guys nearly like brought no healers to
Look,
us
this is not. I didn't. I
when we
tried.
were in the
Okay.
frick. I was just thankful that I realized, oh shit, I have access. Okay, I have access to my paladin spells. Thank God. I had to ask Silas for that. I was like, do I have access to all my paladin spells? I have the spell slots. He do. He's like, oh, thank God, I have cure wounds. I can heal.
Yeah. Well, look. I said, "Hey, look, there's no healers. I could be in the distraction group," and they said, "You can sneak. You come with us." That's how it went, basically. And I got taken.
That was the one session I was not there for, and then I realized that I was in the front lines, which I didn't mind. It's just when I
You
looked
wish you
around,
had a healer there.
I'd had yeah. But then again, I realized, oh shit, I am a support character. That's
Well,
all good.
yeah. Well, in this case, I don't know if you're talking support as in like class, or are you talking about like in the story?
Well, I mean, both,
Both. Yeah.
both.
Just double
I
checking.
mean,
God damn it, Twitch! Stop dropping.
yeah, Twitch is not cooperating at all.
Again, yeah. This is I learned from the first time when I had internet issues. It wasn't. It was my internet, but it's all Twitch this time, where I just start recording all of these, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that I hope hopefully we'll be able to like push the VOD more.
Yeah, it'll be fine one way or another.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I'll also upload it to YouTube like tomorrow or in a few days because of the 24-hour thing.
Yeah. Well, wait, it's only 24 hours now? It's not 72?
When I went through I the stuff I signed, it was 24 hours.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
It used to be like 72. Damn. Or at least a week for a
Yeah,
VOD.
well, I think also there's a bit of a foot to the Twitch's feet right now with everything else. That's why
Yeah.
they tried bringing back the 70/30 for the partners.
That's messed up.
Well, yeah, but also the whole thing about competition makes it where we benefit.
Sure.
So hopefully it keeps getting better because it seems like they're doing some dumb things though because they tried doing the super chat thing, and it's like
Oh,
I don't want to give you the split. Twitch, no.
super chat. Wait, there's super chats now?
Yeah, I think they're rolling it out as like a beta thing for like partners or selected people. Um,
But wait, hasn't donations been a thing?
yeah, but the difference is it's gonna be like a super chat where where you have the chat, it's gonna pin it to the top.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
but everyone's literally saying it's cheap. It's more beneficial to me if you just donated it to me instead of giving a split to Twitch. But hey, look, if it incentivizes some people to use it, I'm not gonna complain because
Yeah.
Hey, Rebby, we're back.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah, we're back. Yeah, the Twitch is not cooperating, unfortunately.
I'm. It's gonna be recorded, so I'm gonna eventually upload it to YouTube sometime this week.
Yeah.
Um,
I've subscribed. I subscribed by the way
what?
on your YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll start uploading clips or something. I just gotta find like good clips or something. I don't know. I regret not clipping that time when the censor thing was going on for like 5 minutes.
Why was it going on for 5 minutes?
It because I was my Go XLR. I didn't realize my keys were resting on the censor button, and because it's not the way I have it routed to my headphones, it doesn't it's not going to show it doesn't have me playing, so I don't hear myself the whole time I go crazy.
Uh-huh.
But which also includes the censor, the mute thing, which
Uh-huh.
means it was my keys were just pressing like jammed on top of it, and I didn't hear anything because all I hear was like everything else. Meanwhile, you and Gendiva were just like, nope. There's this buzzing thing for like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, I'm dumb. Maybe I had a himbo moment. Okay, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
My only regret is I should have clipped it.
Yeah. Scuff is always Scuff is always a part of being a VTuber.
Yeah, it probably would have been a good thing to show people and be like, he's like us. I'll watch him. Also, he's a bun. Everyone either thinks I'm cute or down bad. Or
There's
both.
no in between. I mean, yeah.
I was gonna say it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that there's no in between. It's just if the in between is you jam the two of them together, it's a Venn diagram instead of like the neutral ground.
Yeah,
Last year.
that is true.
Yeah. Anywho, last thing I heard was something about Kaz. I'm trying to remember about
Oh,
Kaz.
we're oh, that was I mentioned I wanted to hear like I wanted to finally see Kaz like go back that we actually do the whole thing that they that Kaz wanted to do and go back to
I
their
forgot that was
humanity.
we disconnected for that long.
Yeah, and that we do a thing about her people and all that. We wanted that. I actually want to see that happen, but we just we just keep being brought
I'm
to.
just waiting though for like if when Silas is like, okay, you can go visit your families again. Who still remains? Like, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. This is why you haven't visited him yet.
They're like, I was like, oh, now this is the time that you have. Now here's the downtime you have to visit all your families if you had any.
They can't be dead if I don't know. Even though
Oh
technically
man,
we have the powers to potentially raise them back, but also Lance is not the type to take it.
yeah, I think if
Uh,
you, I like it's yeah, I feel like Lance is the type like, is it selfish that I can save my family but everyone else is just dead, like
yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Or is it like that, and also I might be a god, but I don't feel right being who chooses who like lives and dies just like that.
Oh man, the more I think about it, John's whole John's whole gripe is the fact that I thought regular people are turning into gods, and like now if he's gonna meet like Isla and Chiquita and Lazarus and see what kind of people they are, and the idea of them becoming gods, uh, I'm curious to see how that plays off. To be honest,
He's just gonna focus on them and not even notice that Lance is trying to do his best and help as many people as possible. It's like all of them are evil and bad.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's gonna we're gonna have you just need to let them just need to let them like
Be more of a child.
no you just need to let John learn about these things. He's a kid. Someone has to teach him. Like beat the shit out of him.
Oh my god, this is such Asian parenting. This is like he just needs a beating. It's fine. We'll learn his lesson. He won't talk back.
You know the reason he's acting out is because he doesn't feel fear anymore. We should fix that.
We just happen to let him essentially time travel, and he gets uppity and thinks he's better than everyone.
Well, yeah, like yeah, this is why you have to beat your kids.
Oh my god, I gotta start looking at the stuff from the the expanded stuff because I need to start figuring out my fucking build now.
Oh yeah, I mean
God.
I'll be honest, it's a little hard to like focus on your person build when your god build is we're very little of what your person build affects your god build.
Yeah, but you still gotta have that stuff. Well, it affects me to the extent that my spells are still usable.
I, I'm gonna have to at least talk to Silas like can I at least get like my shutdown skills like pole arm mastery or sentinel built into Titanus because that was kind of part of it. Part of it was that he's supposed to be the tank and not let anyone get through.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I can do that. I mean, I can do that like physically with a wall, but I'm not sure if you noticed, like in our recent battles, like I put up a wall, but he stays in the wall.
yeah, well, this is also why I have some stuff planned with Lance using his feathers to restrain people if needed.
Oh no, I'm sure that'll go about well.
Well, we'll see. Uh,
Yeah.
look, Lance is like Lance's abilities have been always support based stuff and a few DPS stuff, but right. I'm trying to find that good balance,
Oh man.
and then
I
then take wish and then never use it because he's too fearful of it.
I, I want not to mention that I guess they've never actually because considering I guess as a god they don't have it. They don't let you do the one in third chance that you can never cast wish again.
I don't know because also the way that like was
No,
it
Spectre
just
the way that
Spectre? Yeah,
Spectre threw it around. I think I guess that doesn't count if you're a god, right?
the way I inferred for Spectre is Even if they try and stop him, what are they gonna do?
That's true.
But that was like the worry was that he casts so willy nilly. It's like, oh Jesus.
Yeah. Oh god.
Uh,
Like there's just there are just so many like what's the word? I like to call them like randomizers. Like there's so many randomizing factors in a campaign that it's sometimes hard to make any like concrete plans on what to do. To be
yeah,
honest,
yeah.
it's like I can plan to something I'd like that I would wish for it to happen, but there's just so many things that there's so many like moving
Where are we
parts that
going? I can't anticipate this. How I'm gonna build this out.
did did you know that we were going to do a rescue mission? I didn't know we were going to
Yeah.
do a rescue mission.
There's some stuff that I have like mass suggestion. I'm like, I can't really use this right now. Do I need to just replace this in my bard spells?
Yeah, like I think for like and there's like I think for me it's like I don't know about you, but considering what you've been fighting about, anything that has like a DC that needs like a DC role, I'm like, this is not going to be useful. I keep
Yeah.
thinking, this is not going to be useful. This is not. There's a very low chance that this is going to affect people. I'm a half caster at most. This is not going to help. I'll leave that to the whole casters. I'm not. I'm just going to make it a point that you know what? No, considering my DC level, I'm not even gonna attempt to like debilitate the enemies. I'm just gonna go hit things
Yeah.
unless I'm in God form where it's my DC is actually decent. But as Jerry now,
Well, at this point, I'm just also considering what if I just take all the charisma spellcasters and just combine them into one and be like, all right, fuck you.
I mean that's one way to do it.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I have no idea what I want to do for my other two classes.
Wait, what classes do you have? Like,
Well, I'm saying because basically they're talking about like hitting level 60 shit kind of thing.
oh, that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, honestly, like at the pace we're going, I don't expect us to reach that. Then again, you know what? No, I can't even say that
Don't
anymore
say
because
that. Don't say that. Keep in mind, we're talking about like, oh my god, we're only level 17 and we're dealing with stuff. But in any other campaign, you're level 17 in a year, starting at level 3. How'd you do this?
yeah, like yeah. It's like we're already in the accelerated program.
Yeah, no kidding. Uh, I
I
don't.
keep forgetting that.
Yeah. Uh. So I don't know if you saw, and if Remy's still here, but yeah, Kaz's thing is out of the way. We did talk about that before, but also it is a thing that it's always that thing of like, hey, there's this side quest you really want to do, but the world's gonna end, so
It's
what you
like
gonna do?
it's like there's just side quests and some character story bits that I really want to look at, but I can't leave the main quest, and I'm stuck in the main quest area.
You're hard locked
So
right now.
I'm hard luck right now. Sorry.
You can't go back. Deal.
That is how it feels.
Uh,
I'm still surprised Jerry's alive. I He's built to die, man.
Look, I get what you're saying, but keep in mind, Kaz has survived so far.
I mean that's because we've all we've all made it a point that if Kaz dies, everything is ruined.
Yeah, but if the person who's willing to die keeps surviving, I feel like anyone else is uh has good
Because
as good of a chance.
because Jerry was supposed to be literally my throwaway character. Like, oh, you know what? Maybe I feel like I need to play someone just in case. Because I'm not gonna even lie. I feel like John is my main character, but the thing is, he's not always there, so I have someone to play around with. But considering how Jerry has ballooned up in importance, even more than Gus, now Gus is essentially an NPC, and I don't mind him being an NPC. He fits being an
He
NPC.
has a very specific role, so it's not like he's gonna change anytime soon.
Yeah, But like, there's the growth from Jerry. Like, oh, I'm just a little humble employee here to take care of you all. And then, oh, I'm also a godling apparently. Fuck.
Yeah, for what it's worth, it's just her driving force for wanting to do good things. Yeah,
To do
it-
good things anyway.
yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, that's the whole thing for Lance also. It's just, uh, we have the understanding that Kaz misses her tribe, so want to resolve that eventually.
Yeah. After we're all done, I really do want to ask Silas, like, can we have like, I don't know, a month's worth of, not like not like IRL, like an in-game month worth of us being able to go do things that we want to do.
Recuperate.
Or recuperate, like, maybe catch our breaths, do some character building stuff.
Lance is gonna get drunk, and then bad shit's gonna happen again.
I do. We have been instigating and Lance's alcoholism. Huh? That is our fault.
A little, but look, since day one, his drinking has had positive benefits. I don't know if they have that
That's
session, but like I got drunk at the bar and I made money.
Yeah, I know. I was there. You had you still. If I remember correctly, you still have the phone. You still have like the addresses of the
Oh,
people who
that
tipped
was
you.
a different time. I mean the very first session.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I wasn't there then. I
Uh
will have a moment like that. That, that's the kind of what's happening with Saturday Table, and Silas has been fair about that sort of thing. Okay,
yeah.
I guess I guess we're reaching a climax then. That's the case. Because yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. If we go for the capital now, I'm not sure because it feels like we just finished a big, we just
Moment.
finished the climax. Yeah, we just finished the climax, and then we're going to jump right into fighting in the capital. Man, it's like a never-ending roller coaster ride. I
Ooh.
wouldn't say no to it, but I'm just saying like,
I mean, look, Lance and myself are both in the mindset of like, hey, we're here already.
yeah,
Um
damn,
and Lance is like expressed him being like he wants to get stronger and do more things, but everyone said like it's okay to rest and stuff. But also at the opposite end, he's had negative reinforcement because shit usually goes bad after he's done relaxing.
that is true. That is true.
So what he has to do is never rest and keep drinking. That's what he will give him the best outcome, right?
Oh, this poor little owl. Like constant like negative reinforcement. Like, no, you can't rest. Bad things happen when you rest.
Keep
What?
drinking, bitch.
Like, what? You're sober? We need you drunk.
Because Owlboy needs lots of hugs. Yeah, but the party isn't the most equipped for it. When Kaz is the only one that will hug him, like I'm not saying the other people won't hug him. It's just everyone else is like emotionally stunted for the most part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like
Jerry's very much in the hard decisions dad
yeah.
mode right
No,
now.
I know that. And then if Chiquita tries to cheer him up, it's like we just need an orgy again.
Or I know it's gonna be fun killing people.
Like, you want to make life or take life?
As long as we do both, it's gonna be balanced.
Uh, people need to die so people can live.
Such a fascinating character, honestly. She's like she's an it's weird that she's an agent of balance, but she's also so that just means that she's allowed to be completely bipolar in what she wants to do.
Basically, but at least it makes sense.
Like it's like the complete like subversion of the hard ass. No, everything has to be like in order. Blah blah blah. Like no, if we do the extreme of if we do extreme on both ends, everything works out.
That's totally normal and fine because I am a warforged and all of your customs are weird.
And also empathy. What's empathy?
Oh
Oh
boy.
God.
He thinks Chiquita needs more guidance from Roko, who has effectively retired now.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially after what Roko went through. Yeah.
Yeah, is so. Yeah, is do you, sorry that I can't keep up with the four campaigns essentially or more. I can't. I don't
Yeah.
even know
Okay.
anymore.
So basically, I I think the gist of it is that Roko did a fucky wucky that essentially killed Frederick.
Was it the
That's
teleport away thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
The fucky wucky that essentially killed Frederick, and I think and after that, like I think also tried to sell Frederick's soul for passage, which was not cool for
Oh
everyone.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a drone. All right, resume with that. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and Silas was not mad at, and essentially like um honorable dismissal for Rocco, which is now why she's in NPC mode.
Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because the blue turkey is essentially PTSD to the max. She's died already. Like
Yeah.
how many times has Roku died? She died more than once, right? She's died more than once, I think. And
Uh,
it's not pretty.
only died
No,
once.
Roku,
Okay.
oh, only once. Okay, only once.
I think it was more of near death experiences after that.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, the thing is, it's relatable. I understand where she's coming from. It's just that, oh man, I can also see why they did the whole. Maybe you don't go out in the field team anymore. Oh man.
what was that? The oh, but having this talk is also reminding me that um, oh yeah, I think one of the goals eventually is for Lance. Maybe essentially his church is a refuge place or like uh a haven for people uh
I don't say.
to like cope with everything that's gone on because yeah uh like even from the moment he met the little lights he understood why they had to be trained, but at the same time he wants there to be a world where they don't need to be trained or uh clearly he sees the pain that they've gone through.
Man, Jerry's so much. He's thinking more about the responsibilities. He's not even considering the fact that oh maybe I need to build a religion. No, that's not in his head at all. Honestly.
Yeah, well real quick the oh the can't return home because they're promising yeah I don't yay fun in quotations and of course Lance would of course make let Kaz be the guardian even though Kaz is also another person who's getting worshipped at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think amongst all of us, Kaz is the one that actually has followers because of the whole lizard people that we liberated. She's the only one with active followers at the moment.
Yes, and then maybe those could be the people who protect the my place. um but also Silas has kind of hinted and mentioned kind of a follower just means you believe in that domain. So we have people that are related to us already.
Mm.
So some of the people that I helped from apparently day one can be considered followers or worshippers. That I was like, I hadn't considered that, but okay, if this is the rules we're going by.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of like things to consider once we actually start to have a breather. Like not even like just character background. Like also like you have to plan for the future. Like, okay, where are we going from here? Like after the whole saving the world thing, or like pushing through the war front and all that. Oh God, because even if we go back, there's that whole war with Tiamat thing that we have to worry about.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also the reason why I don't think myself slash Lance has an end goal, is because he realizing by being a god there is technically no end in sight. and all
Yeah.
he can think of doing is better and trying to make things improved for the people around him.
I guess that's I guess that's the best way to deal with things, honestly.
Because I don't think he can also deal with the pressure of it's a never ending thing. Uh, because like yeah, him also considering the thought of like he's going to basically outlive anyone that isn't us.
Oh God, I haven't even considered that yet.
Yeah, like of course, in most situations he'd outlive his parents, but it's like everyone around them are going to be moments in his life, and that's and also I don't know the rules of like, am I just going to remember everything, even if it's 1,000 years later?
Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh, we're going into that immortal.
There's a reason Lance doesn't like the idea of being a god.
You know,
Can I see his pamphlet?
yeah, maybe John had a good point after. I think
I don't know. It's that's the thing. It's like as hopeful and naive as Lance is because he's read so much and he understand like all of his roles have indicated he understands religion so much. It also means those kind of things weigh on him because he understands what that entails. I
yeah,
so I don't know if I showed that like outwardly, but he's been thinking about this like from the moment. Um, but because he's like, why would you choose me? I'm just like like a farm boy essentially. Uh, and he everything has weighed on him of like uh even though who like when you're a god, you know, you get to essentially make the rules for yourself. He
yeah,
doesn't want it to feel that way. He uh like out of all the gods, he's probably the one who's thought about who wants to be immortal still.
yeah. That makes sense. Cause yeah, cause Jerry didn't even consider the fact that oh, I'm outliving everyone. No, he's when he got the whole godhood thing, he realized he saw it as the job. Like, oh, this is my job now. This is what I have to do now. He hasn't even considered the personal the personal problems that's going to give it
Yeah.
come to him. It's like he hasn't internalized it yet. How this is not a job that has an end goal.
Yeah.
There's a job in perpetuity, and it doesn't end until
Uh
someone takes it away from you.
yeah, this again this is a funny mirror thing between the two of them. What are we focusing on by becoming a god? Uh
Yeah, I think yeah, because again, because he's he, I think it helps considering what kind of god he is. He's a protector god. It's like, well, I'm not going to protect myself. That's not the point. The point is that I'm going to help people, and then he doesn't realize what that entails for himself. And I don't know what's going to happen once he realizes that, oh, is this something I really want for myself for the rest of eternity?
this is another thing I haven't really brought up with Lance is also it's come up now where he records, you know, after people have passed kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's the whole idea of things are fleeting and trying to hold on to the memories of people to keep them in a sense alive still.
Uh huh.
um so and he kind of found the beauty in that, so it's kind of like he is going to be the storyteller and like tell people stories to keep them alive, but it's also like that feeling of like uh the impermanence of it is where you can find like the best kind of stories as things, you know, try and change and grow or improve or get worse. But by being a god, it's no longer that. You're no longer the man versus the force. You are the force.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. Oh god. Uh, See, when funny you mentioned like John's like not wanting to do this thing because what John didn't like was the fact that he found that people were people can be cruel, and well he found that gods could be cruel, and that he didn't like the fact that gods have the same trappings as mortals, like they can be motivated by their own whims rather than just um you know be impartial and do things that's either right or within their responsibility, which is it's an ironic. This is not like I didn't intend it, but Jerry is actually the kind of god that John wanted to see, where he's doing it because it's his job and not because this is what he wants to do. It's
Mm.
like it's very impersonal to him. It's just a duty that he believes that he has to take care of everyone, and that he doesn't like take pot shots on things, which he feels like John feels like that's what happened to him. It's like you know oh some god, he doesn't know which god yet, like uh which god decided, like, you know what, fuck this kid in particular. you're
Yeah.
not you're not gonna you're not gonna have a life. And he's been mad about that till now, and what how that's fallen apart. And I don't know the way, especially when the way Silas plays it through, like Ao brought it up to him because he knew it was going to. I think it's the fact that gods can choose certain people that really pissed him off. It's like, oh, so you're telling me that I didn't get that I had to go through my shitty things because you wanted to put a job through me. You wanted to host, and that's what pissed him off the most. It's like, oh, so this is all this is. It's like you deciding that no, I don't get a normal life. You have to suffer, and then you're gonna have to go through a trial and become a god like us. And that's why he was so like impulsive about, like, no, I want to hear the other thing. No,
Uh,
yeah, it's that. And then of course it's realizing that, oh, he's been tricked again. It's just he was just being told what he wanted to hear, and it's just another dude having a power trip. And he's also against the idea that certain people can just be given powers. And as much as he didn't care about the party, he understood what kind of people the party were, like the kind of chaos gremlins that like Caiaphas and Isla were.
yeah.
And it rubbed him wrong that they were going to be given responsibility over people.
So
And that's why
essentially, if he had a less chaotic party, he might have went, okay, maybe this can
okay,
work.
yeah. But then, like, I think that's part of it. Like, if you realize that, okay, I can see why these are the people that are being chosen. I don't get why I'm chosen, but I get see everyone else. But when he sees, like, casual mass murder, casual chaos gremlins like Chiquita, Isla, and Caiaphas, and like they're, oh, we're gonna get you guys powers and responsibility over mortals. And then it just circled into him, like, oh shit, these are the kinds of gods that like dick me around.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be helping, adding more of those dick gods into the pantheon. Hell no. That's
Uh,
that's that's a negative reaction that he had.
no, I totally get the perspective. It's just, it's
Yeah, I
like,
know.
it's always just that thing of like, nah, fuck that. But also, I'm not gonna try and change. I'm just gonna destroy it.
Yeah, because I think it in his head, it's like, considering that they're supposed to be the new gods, supposedly, like they're supposed to be the change, and he's just seeing more of the same. He didn't like it. That's why he
Yeah.
that's why he went for the fuck this, and that bit him in the ass. And now the poor lad doesn't know what he's doing. That's why
Uh,
That's also part of the reason why he's like, that's the part of the reason why he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to help. I don't want to help the Scarlet King anymore because he's just at a power play again, and goes everything that goes against everything I've fought against.
you just
And
need to. Oh, go ahead.
but yeah, but he's also like, I also don't want to be a part of those gods because I'm still against that fact that gods with personal what's the
Okay.
word?
Good night, Remy. Thanks for
Night,
stopping
Remy.
by.
What time is it? Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
already 11 p.m.
this is what we always do, but yeah, just we might end it eventually in the near future.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, but
But
yeah, get our thoughts out.
God, what was I saying? Oh yeah, like he doesn't like the idea of like gods having their own personal wishes and whims affect their mortal, not even supporters, just mortals in general. He doesn't like that idea.
Yeah,
So now he's at like a conundrum and like, well, fuck, what do I do now? And that's the reason I actually reached out, like the eventual plan. And the thing is, like, Medi has delayed the Baron campaign that he's currently in for 2 weeks now. La- he delayed it last week because he did it yesterday because he did the whole, no, not yesterday, the day before, because of the whole 24-hour stream thing.
oh
So
yeah.
so we didn't do that. But because of that, like I've been edging on what the fuck is gonna happen with this character for 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
For 2 weeks, and it's like, is he gonna die? Is he going to? Because at this point, I don't mind him. I've always said this. I don't mind him dying because that just might be that just might be where he goes, where he finds himself in, like, maybe I just don't want to be. Maybe I just don't want to play a part in this anymore. And if it's and if it's an out through someone else's means, like if someone else wants to take me out for their own, for their own satisfaction, then I'll let them have it. Because
He wants that sweet release of death at this point.
at this point, but at the same time, it's like he's trying to see if there is anything that he can do to, to make him feel better about the way the world works.
He's I wouldn't say holy god, but he's open to, well, maybe something else could fix this or help fix me. But if I die, no, that's good too.
Yeah, that's where he is right now. It's like, you know, like, I'm open to suggestions, but I'm also open to rage quitting. Is
Fun.
essentially what is essentially what it's a weird feeling to be in that character space, man. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah. Look, there's a reason sometimes I'm just like, let's make it a simple character where I don't have to like overthink things. I just want to do good things, and then maybe there's some there's deep rooted things he's really dealing with internally, but I don't have to express those constantly.
Yeah. Well, I had to like go on and do and be the the Sasuke of the group, so I had no choice. I have to be the anchor.
Oh, now I remember. I was gonna say, now we just need you to find your Itachi, and then we can have you realize your true purpose.
Well, my I don't know if he has an Itachi, man. Because another thing is that John has no friends. Like, John literally has no one that cares about him, and he cares about them in like personal, a personal capacity. It's always been in a business capacity.
Well,
So,
he may have messed up his choose your own adventure path. I'll put it that way.
yeah, he essentially fucked up every other social interaction he's done, and even with the evil people,
I became a
like,
Baron because it's red, and I'm gonna burn all the bridges.
I know, right? Like that's why I feel like redemption doesn't seem to fit him because one, he doesn't look for it, and two, I don't think there's anyone that cares enough for him to see him be redeemed. Which is why I'm which is why I'm fascinated at why does Lazarus not want to kill John? And in my head, like, does he just want to kill him himself? That's in my head. Like, does he just want him to like? Does he just want him either to kill it, take it, like kill him by his own hands, or does he want him to like live so that he can suffer through the bullshit that he's going through?
As far
I'm trying to.
as I can tell, it's the two sides of him fighting. So they've reconciled where he's gonna live, but it might not be a fun living.
Yeah, like that's what I want. I that's what I want to see. I want to see that eventually happen. I mean, it will eventually happen. I'm just excited for it to happen because I have no idea how that's gonna work. Like how that clash is going to be.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna fix God, what is his name? My brain's blanking.
Which one?
The the guy that Paige is trying to heal or fix.
Oh, Vincent. Oh,
Vincent.
oh God.
Yeah, I'm gonna repair Vincent so then I can repair John and be like, okay, Vincent now can feel things. Now I can make you feel guilt. Now,
I mean, I mean, that's what the Raven Queen did to him. He made him feel despair, depressed over every death that he caused. That didn't help him. If anything, that helped. Then they made him realize, huh, I really do not. Huh, after the curse is gone, I really do not care about everyone.
yeah. Well, my whole point. Well, the whole point would be it. Um, you just come back and you're telling me to punch you. Is that gonna make me feel better? I'm like, no. I want you to actually, like, redeem yourself if you're gonna actually come back.
Best I can offer is a punch.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna give you a full spectrum of emotions, so you can't just go, ah, I guess I suck. Anyways, moving on. I'm alive still.
Oh man.
It's like, no, this isn't how a story goes, you motherfucker. I would know. I've read too many of them.
Ah man. I think yeah. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I'm curious. I didn't think I'll be honest with you. Like coming into the game in the beginning, like last year, I wasn't expecting to be this invested in our characters.
Well, yeah. Why do you think I made Lance to be like a silly, goofy? Haha, he's a um compulsive liar, but also the compulsiveness goes away when he realizes things are bigger than he bargained for. Because the whole idea was, little white lies he tells, not like things that determine if someone can live or die.
Then and then realize, oh no, I have to be the straight man in this. Oh no, oh
Yeah.
no.
Well, when it was just me, Kaifus, and Gendiv or Chiquita, it was very much like a, oh no, they're out weirding me. They're Eric Andre. It was like, I've been watching clips, so that's why it popped in my brain.
Fair enough.
Because also,
Oh
let's be
man,
real, sometimes the stuff that they said was wild and uh off the cuff.
damn.
Like, how am I supposed to respond to this? I guess I'm just gonna be standing there, like, uh, silent for like the next 2 minutes because I can't process it.
Yeah. I also felt like I don't know. I do as much as as much as there's an in character frustration with all the chaos goblins that we have. I do appreciate that I do appreciate them for like adding the spice to it because one, if we are all just sad and mopey, that'd be sad. But at the
Yeah,
same time,
I wouldn't, as much as I don't want murder hobos, an entire party of them, I also don't want a group of essentially paladins going, we must do our duty.
yeah. Also, like I don't know, because I think we're in a good balance. We have a good balance of people in our party.
It also helps that there's different versions of people trying to do good.
Yes, like I like Kaz's very reckless. No, this is good, right?
There's that, and then Jerry's more. I don't want to say stern, but you know what I mean by like very
Yeah,
by the book kind of thing. And then there's
yeah.
Lance's just like, please, maybe we can make this fix. We can fix this. Just please stop. Okay. And then I would say I haven't seen enough of Arcturus's except for I have magic beans. Trying to help. And then Naeus is very.
On it,
I think Naeus is
very
trying to
like
do good, but it's very much like
distant about it.
yeah, or calculated.
Like this is good, right? This 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 is what you do as a good person.
This is how you interrogate people. I don't know if you were there for that part. I think you were.
Oh God. Oh,
You were
there. Oh
outside,
no.
but you know you were there for the session.
Yeah. I was in my head like, let me put. Oh God, the mirror. That mirror thing again. It all be. I should have. We should have specified that mirror thing. We that was a fading for both of us. I think the fact that we gave Isla that mirror is what fading for both of us.
I'm just thinking about breaking it sometime. I'm just saying. Oh, what? I like you're drunk right now. You're out at the orgy, or I'm gonna find that mirror and fucking break it.
Like,
Oh, weird.
because I was my initial like fear of her having is like, oh teehee, I'm gonna do it on the party, like and I think okay, as long as you don't do it at the party, we'll give it to you, without realizing, oh, I've just exposed multiple innocent people to this thing now, and that's why I feel, that's why I think that's why we both feel kind of responsible whenever she does like, I'm gonna put him in the mirror.
What?
It's
Uh,
like it's like, oh, this is our fault.
if if Isla won't take responsibility, we we're honor bound to try and fix it. This is our
Unfortunately,
redemption.
this is our redemption. Like we've unleashed this in the world. We have to at least rein it back somehow.
Yeah. Look, let's try and fix it before it gets worse.
Jesus. What are we going? What are they even going to do? What is she even going to do with the two guys in the mirror?
I don't think she thought that far. I think the whole point is to have the two guys in the mirror.
That feels like so much worse.
It
So you,
is. Again,
it's like
this is also
so
why Lance keeps specifying you're going to let him go, right?
right? Yeah, in an unspecified amount of time. If she and if she remembers,
Oh
like
well, Lance is gonna remember and bug the shit out of her until she does, or break that fucking thing.
yeah, because like because in my head like you know, so the possibilities either having some live subjects for her to just like dick around with, or casually imprisoning two random people for eternity for no goddamn reason. It's still
Yeah.
bad. It's
I
still bad.
I think my mic's picking up the plane flying
Yeah,
over, so I'm just pausing for a sec.
no worries. We can also wrap it up. We've been at it for 3 hours now.
I mean, who's counting? But yeah, I'm sure we'll continue this and we'll get in a sense the part three when Nev is here.
That's true. That's true. Oh man, I, I I'm actually really excited. So I don't think she'll be able to do anything this week because she has strep, which is unfortunate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't. It's not on the schedule, so I wasn't expecting it. But maybe in the next week or two,
Yeah.
if things
Uh,
work out.
yeah. Feel better, Nev.
Yes,
Hope you
if you
get
see
better
this.
soon. If you see this.
Yeah. But yeah, I would Nev. I won't go into the details about the prompt, but it's more about like just knowing about our characters and our backgrounds and stuff. It both in and out of character for D&D.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's very like simple. Like you know, I basically just a quick background on my D&D thing. I realized we've never talked about it. I just had I made a lot of friends who are usually older than me, and they're the older nerds that taught me like 3.5 and then fourth ed and tabletops and all the stuff that technically a generation that I should know, like a generation above me. So that's how I got introduced to D&D. And then eventually,
Mhm.
once 5e came in with the whole critical role thing and all that, so like that got popular. So I started playing AL and all that. You know.
Yeah, makes sense. My experience, I'll go more in detail for when Nev, but it's just like, yeah, I don't remember the exact reason. It just always interested me, and then like seeing it in some pop culture stuff like Community also just helped me go like, yeah, I want to do this. It seems like interesting and different. And then getting more experience in college and just keep doing it. And but I feel like mine is. I feel like a lot of people when they have D&D, it's like they do pre-built stuff,
Yeah, they
and
all usually always start with pre-built stuff. Yeah.
we did not start with pre-built. So that's why my experiences are very much like everyone's like, this is the optimized build, and I'm just like, I don't know. I sucked these two things together, and I went, yeah, this isn't part of like. Because people are just like, oh, so you need to roll for like a knowledge check on this, and like they're like, well, based on this chart here on the bestiary, I was like, I'm not following that goddamn thing. It was just it was very much look. There was a part where I it was like my first few times DMing, so I didn't know what I was doing and didn't know how to control people. So people went wild, and someone made like weed elementals from smoking. I was like, oh, I really
Oh
fucked that
God.
up.
Oh God.
So instead of that, I'm gonna let people do have basically wands to have fairy fire if they want to smoke some shit.
Okay.
Like how you're just like, huh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's checked out.
yeah. I mean, look, in certain parts of my campaign, fairy fire and dust and all that stuff will be legal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, maybe depending on who your character is, they shouldn't go out back of the warehouse and see what they're doing. I don't know if you were
Fair
there when I
point.
said there might be a fight pit.
Fight pit?
Yeah, look, there's some like if you work in some places, there are people who will throw down in the back.
No. No. The only thing I've only ever experienced like a customer like throw shit around and like cause like property damage in the floor. But I've
Oh,
never seen. Yeah, that's happened. That's
yeah.
happened.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never, thankfully, I guess that there was never any physical, actually, no major altercations when it comes to like other employees.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was more of like they both agreed to do it.
Oh,
They just want to brawl.
no, no, not since high school.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind these are the burnouts.
Okay, fair. Like
Look, we either
this,
get drunk or we're in a fight. Which is what are we doing? Are we doing both tonight?
this is how Fight Club start. This is literally how Fight Club
Oh
starts.
yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, like, look, when you're desensitized and disenfranchised, you're gonna just do anything to feel something.
I know, right? Oh man. No,
All right. So there'll be more of this kind of talk
yeah. Let's.
for Dev. But
All right.
also since you're the guest, I don't know if there's somebody you want me to raid.
Man, that's a good question. I think let me check.
Yeah, just to keep it the trend. I feel like it's appropriate.
Mm, Actually, no one I really knows. Um, no one really, honestly.
Oh, okay,
No one's really online,
okay.
unfortunately.
It is what it is.
Oh,
Let me. Oh, go ahead.
no, I'll leave it to you. I'll leave it to you.
Oh, okay. Uh, let's raid one of my friends who also was supportive in helping me reach affiliate. So
Yay.
let me just make.
Hey,
Hmm?
thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it was fun. It was basically us just hanging out after a session, but it was fun.
I know, right? I know. Always happy to do that.
Yeah, for sure. We can do this again, even if it's not for a stream. All right, let me just hit raid. Cool.
I feel like we should really do like we should really do like a Q and A, like a session, with all the party in like
Oh, sure, sure. Well,
Silas's like
I
a
mean,
Q and A.
when Silas wants to set that up, because I feel like that's more of a him thing, or
Yeah, that's definitely
Gandiva.
that's more of a him thing, definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
thanks again.
Yep. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Hope you had fun with all the tangents we just went off. It was fun, though. All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye. All right. It stopped streaming.